Upgrade your gaming experience with UniPin. Explore more than thousands of games. Unlock millions of songs on iTunes and Spotify premium features. Gain access to a better, faster and more secure top-up experience. With unlimited access to every entertainment you need. Fill your life out with UniPin.
Those who stand in my way, die! Bow before the King of the Inferno! Come! Candle Moth! All will die away in ashes, and you are no exception!
New skin ready.
Why, brother? Why must we Paxleys all take the path of magic? Am I such a disgrace to this house, big brother? Finally, I've been expecting you, big brother!
I don't recall giving the orders.
Elders of the house give the order, Your Grace!
But it's not my order.
The elders said it was our only chance. Not even Your Grace could stop us!
I don't need your pretentious favor. We end it all today!
We still have time. Even if we don't, they don't have a say. Hasn't started. It's time for you to know the truth. If you don't want to die, follow me.
Upgrade your gaming experience with UniPin. Explore more than 100 games in our website. Purchase more than just games like PSN Wallet or games and Steam Wallet. Gain access to a better, faster, and more secure top-up experience. With unlimited access to every entertainment you need. Top up now with UniPin. Visit www.unipin.com.
Upgrade your gaming experience with UniPin. Explore more than thousands of games. Unlock millions of songs on iTunes and Spotify premium features. Gain access to a better, faster, and more secure top-up experience. With unlimited access to every entertainment you need. Fill your life out with UniPin.
Those who stand in my way, die! Bow before the King of the Inferno! Come, Candle Moth!
fight, all those crazy drafts and good picks eventually led to this day, the grand finals. We're gonna be your casters for the last day, the best of 5, the gut-wrenching, a possible 5-game series for the last day. I'm Yuko, alongside me is Burger Kim. So of course, Burger Kim, we got to interview Smart Omega yesterday. They're gonna be up against Zolo, which is the exact reason why they are at the lower brackets yesterday. So what are you expecting for this grand finals?
Well, for Smart Omega, right? They definitely are they're gonna be prepared for this one, that's for sure. And they are already on a win streak, and like what everybody mentioned, iba talaga yung lower bracket run, honestly. Dun mo talaga binubuhos lahat kasi it's a do or die. At syempre, yung Smart Omega, di ba? Kapayag ba sila na nag-lower bracket run sila at hindi sila papalag dito sa Grand Finals? And as for Zol, FE rin naman, no? Naging maganda yung run nila for this entire playoffs of UniPin Ladies Series. They haven't had any losses yet. Halos lahat naman nakalaban nila in the bracketing and even in the upper bracket. 2-0, it's always a clean sweep for them. Tingnan na natin kung ano nga ba yung magiging resulta dito sa kanila. Speaking of bracketing, Yuko, ayan na nga, nakikita nyo, halos lahat 2-0 from Zol FE. At ito na yung kinaabang-abang ng mga lahat, the rematch between Smart Omega Empress and Zol FE for our grand finals in this best out of 5.
Mahiwagang question na, will this be a repeat or will Smart Omega be able to rewrite yung magiging ending, right? And you have mentioned na they've been up against each other ng best of 3. That is a lot of games, to be fair, but iba kasi yung safety net tsaka yung protection na kayang ipakita ng best of 5. And as we all know, Smart Omega, they were able to survive a lot of best of 5. So ngayon, gusto ko malaman kung gaano ba nila mapupush yung limits. Like, are we gonna be seeing crazy or unexpected picks or heroes from our ladies dito? Or makakakita tayo ng different reiterations ng draft na they are most comfortable with? We've been seeing a lot of Valentina, a lot of, like Farsa, even yung mga malulupit na duelists like Fredrin, of course Carrie, as well as Beatrix yesterday, and I'm kind of expecting to see that today.
Honestly, para dito sa mga ladies natin ngayong araw na ito, sobrang uso rin kasi talaga yung high ground mages, Yuko, and hindi rin talaga natin matatanggal yon even up until now na may time kasi na nawala ito kasi na-nerf yung Farsa and Eve. So there was a time na nawala nga sila, pero ngayon, ever since na-buff up, it was actually really, really good when it comes to the mid lane. So we also see a lot of Caditas in the mid lane for the pickoffs, some Lilias as well. Pero hindi natin, I would have to say there's going to definitely be a contest for the mid lane. Farsa Eve and Valentina.
Oh, right. Farsa, Eve, Valentina. Eve, I believe, has a 90 or 100% pickup rate if she is open. Kasi I remember she was banned for like a handful of games earlier last night. So na right in front of you sa inyong live stream, that is Smart Omega. Again, they were able to clean and have a beautiful lower bracket run. Tapos natutuwa ako na mention pa nung coach kahapon na inamin niya na mali daw ang sagot niya nung tinanong ko ano yung dinner nila kahapon. So tignan natin kung tama na ang sagot niya ngayon.
Alam mo kung ano pa yung maganda dito sa UniPin Ladies Series, guys. If you're watching, please use the code ULS PH, not limited in quota. You guys can use this code and get a 5% discount if you buy UC one-time use per day. So it's the same account. If you want to use the code again, you have to wait for the next day. Maximum purchase using the code is 50 pesos and maximum discount is 50 pesos as well. This is available on all payment channels. So be sure to avail it habang naka-live pa ang ating final day of the UniPin Ladies Series. And honestly, best out of 5, ang dami pwede mangyari dito, Yuko. And for those of you guys who aren't familiar with the best out of 5, this means each teams, regardless of where you are standing, you have to win 3 games or 3 straight, not really straight, but you just have to win 3 games to win the best out of 5 series.
Kailangan talagang do or die ang mangyayari dito. Actually, do or die is like an understatement at this point. I'm very, very excited. Kasi dalawa lang yan eh. If Zol FE wins, that means their win streak continues up until yung Grand Finals. And honestly, that's impressive. let's say Smart Omega naman yung manalo, they were able to complete their lower bracket run and even bag the victory sa Grand Final. So either, kahit sinong manalo dito sa teams natin, they were able to build up such a beautiful, beautiful story. And here is Zol FE. They are prepping as well. Ang cute naman ng pusa. Ayun daw yung kanilang 6-2 man.
Yeah, actually, buti nga napansin mo yun. Ako hindi ko nakita kasi there's a lot going on sa Zol FE bootcamp. And by the way, yung Zol FE nga pala, sila yung dating Risvelka na another team that is very dominant in the female scene. And halos same roster ito, Yuko, from the last time I've seen them. So wala naman nagbago. They've added a few new players or a few new players to their roster. So it's been a while since I've casted their games, pero sobrang solid kasi nila every time they go out, and honestly they're very comfortable as well with each other. Iba rin talaga yung nagagawa if you guys are a tandem for quite some time. So yeah, definitely alam mo na rin talaga yung kilos ng isa't isa.
Ganun din talaga, parang time and time again, like there's this one team or two teams na kahit pagbalik-baliktarin mo yung mundo, sila pa rin talaga yung nakakatapat mo. Also, I have to say na I'm really impressed. I've seen people talk, I've seen people panic pag pick and ban phase. Zol FE yung isa, kumakain pa. Eat well po, madam.
And looking at the bans here, we're going straight into the draft. Kaja, Ling actually repeat ban ito from Smart Omega, knowing that Mirai has been going for a lot of utility type of roamers, which means that assassins like the Ling, especially under the hands of Bene, this is going to be really difficult. 1-1 rin ang magiging ban dito ng Zol FE. Isa sa mga heroes na repeat ban actually from all of the teams. Still very much viable. Speaking of utility roamers, eto na nga, tinanggal na nga ng Zol FE yung Estes ni Mirai.
Nakita nila kahapon, pag inopen yung Estes, kahit sabihin mong wala namang Fedrin necessarily, Estes still provides a lot of comfort, a lot of safety para sa team niya. It basically amps the odds of Smart Omega to be able to play very, very aggressively. And another brand coming up from Smart Omega is this Lancelot. They can't incorporate that in their lineup as well. Pero I guess they were up against MHRLK last night. It did give them some problems. So might as well, again, out of sight, out of mind, yung iniisip ng Smart Omega dito.
Yep. Ano rin kasi to comfort ni Bene. Actually, dalawa to. Respect ban kay Bene, the jungler of Zol FE, na comfortable talaga siya sa mga ganitong heroes. And speaking of comfortable heroes, this is another pick coming out from Smart Omega na talagang nagpahirap sa MHRLK G unit yesterday. The glue na Prayo ngayon nila. And speaking of the Prayo here, speaking of the meta, open rin naman dito yung Arlot or Joy. Pwede rin Joy mid lane. Actually, if they want to be extra greedy here for Zol FE, I think kasi with the global ban being in play, kailangan rin talaga nila isipin kung ano yung kukunin nila. So either Arlot or Joy. But they go for the carry. Ito yung sinasabi mo kapon, Yuko, na parang pwede agawin yung carry dito ni Shinoa. I'm not so sure if she'll bring out the Beatrix at this point, na pwede rin naman makatapat itong carry niya. Either Beatrix or Melissa could be put out by Smart Omega. And this is something also that really gave Smart Omega a hard time in yesterday's game. The Franco na sa kamay dito ngayon ng Zol FE. This is gonna be really scary. They do have a tanky frontline as of the moment, but will they go for the mid lane? Kasi open pa rin naman yung Farsa and yung Valentina, but you know what? No, it's gonna be a Kadita here. Still not so sure if this is a Mirai hero or an Amore hero.
Oh, okay. My odds are it could go to Amor, but let's see. Gusto ko rin sana sabihin na Smart Omega can pick up Franco. The moment na nakita ko na meron silang carry pick up dito, but Zol FE was a step up ahead of me. Sabi nila, nope, we're gonna get Franco as well, just to make sure na safe talaga yung carry namin. I also was about to say na Kadita was open. Smart Omega picked that up, which also means Martis is open. They are pretty much securing yung mga pwedeng maging sure damage dealers dito before they move on sa isa pang frontliner. Kasi one of the best frontliners in this meta, honestly, is Blue. And nakuha na yon ng Smart Omega. So they're confident enough na mag-transition to prioritizing yung mga killers sa backline.
And looking at Smart Omega, this is quite different from what they had in their previous games. Ang ganda nitong lineup ng Smart Omega when it comes to the early. They still do need a late game hero. Again, hindi ko pa rin confirm kung Mirai hero ba to. Is it gonna be a roamer Kadita? And now Sol FE as well gonna lock in that Joy. Now we're gonna go into the second banning phase. There's still no gold laner here for Shinoa. Pwede sila magtanggal. Actually, ang dami pwedeng tanggalin na heroes kay Shinoa. Beatrix, Melissa, mga heroes na nagpapahirap talaga sa carry when it comes to the laning phase. They still don't have a... again, I think, ano rin kasi, nakakalito rin talaga tong lineup ng Omega. Hindi mo rin talaga sure kung... Hindi mo sure kung sino yung hahawak nitong Kadita. And Smart Omega also limiting out a lot of respect towards Bene here. Ang dami mga heroes niya tinatanggal. And that's gonna be another marksman out for Shinoa. So, meaning open lang dito is Melissa. Pwede rin siya mag-clint if that's the case. So, global ban being in play, kailangan na nila isipin yung overall na magiging impact dito sa ating best out of 5.
Really being able to maximize yung mga mag-impact indeed para sa series na to. You mentioned Melissa kanina, but I think Smart Omega could... Oh wait, yeah, naban na nga pala yung Beatrix. Sayang, maganda sana makakita ng ng carry tsaka Beatrix na matchup, no? But yeah, I think it's all gonna go down to possible Melissa, or if Smart Omega is feeling a little bit crazy today, pwede sila mag-Benedetta. But no, they don't care about either of that. They picked up Leslie. Munti ko na makalimutan, there is a Leslie nga pala in the meta. And with Valentina being picked up, Smart Omega, they don't mind that. They still pick up the Farsa.
Yep, and here's the thing, I kind of figured that was a Mirai hero because Smart Omega is just so loving that front-to-back line composition na sabi ko, posible na ganito lang kasi they don't really go for full dives. They at least go for like someone with the AoE. So now, Smart Omega with Mirai being the roamer here, this is gonna be a little bit more aggressive from Smart Omega as compared to the games that we've seen yesterday na mas utility talaga. So ngayon pick off talaga itong Kadita niya. Let's see if they will switch up to the Flicker or the Petrify, and yeah, it's gonna be a Petrify on the Kadita. And Zolefi as well. Maglalock in rin ng Hayabusa dito. Yuko, I think this is a comfort pick talaga for Bene Assassins. So you can kind of see it in the ban, so Smart Omega as well. Pero ito na, next best option for Bene.
Exactly. Actually, ang na-imagine ko din dito, well, the logic behind Hayabusa is kahit malambot siya, kaya din niyang palambutin yung mga kalaban. Like, he doesn't necessarily need to kill them. But the idea is, wither down yung life ng kalaban mo enough, and then you can have Carrie finish it, you can have Valentina finish it, or in retrospect, pwede siya mag-finish off ng kill. This is something I've been seeing sa mga matches ng Zol FE. Parang, for lack of a better term, meron silang goods pagkasunod-sunod ng skills. They don't really need that flashy 1-to-1, 1-to-2 plays. What they do is, they move as a unit, they walk around, parang they focus on one target, tapos either way, sure yon na meron silang one hero down. And after that, pwedeng 4-to-5, or magbaback sila, or rotate. Basta yun yung nakikita ko na they really love forcing these fights or pickoffs.
Oh, okay. I was on mute. Okay, yeah, let's take a look at the lineup here of both sides. This is game number 1 in our grand finals. This is Sol FE and Smart Omega Empress in their much-awaited match for today. Best out of 5. Let's see who will kick off things in the Land of Dawn for our first game as we head over into the Land of Dawn.
Of course, wow, gabi naman. Ang init naman ng start ng game number 1 natin. Hinahabol agad dito si Franco. But of course, early game pa lang yan. The best they can do is zone them out of the lane or out of the area. But for Smart Omega, another thing I actually want to say is they have really, really good wave clear. That's something that they could possibly utilize sa latter part ng game. Muntik na ma-iron hook ang isa doon. Buti nakapag-sidestep si Mirai. But yeah, they're also able to force a spell out of Valentina dito. Muntik na nila ma-2v1. But ang init talaga ng mid lane this early on.
Yep, and for Zol, at this point. I like how you mentioned the wave clear. Talagang evident yan para sa Smart Omega, which means that they can actually rotate faster dito sa side. And we're seeing really rotation as well from Bene dito kay Not Ayanami na alam natin, no, pag hindi mo talaga to pinansin, hindi lang si Shinoa, talagang makakagawa siya ng plays dito. Sobrang low na siya. No SS as of the moment, but they actually get Bene at that. Completely outplayed by Smart Omega. Care of Mirai there. Right at that moment they needed it the most. And once again, Smart Omega gonna get the first blood.
Yep, being able to draw first blood in this kind of tournament and in this kind of part is very, very crucial, but that is going to be a try or at least attempt para makapag-revenge kill, but she did not expect na mayroon pa palang dalawa na nagtatago din sa bush. So with that, it looks like this Joy will take a few steps back, recall nila muna, or just go with the defenses. But up top, kung gaano kabaliw ang ating bottom lane, ganoon naman ka-chill ang top lane. Nag-aambahan lang, nag-iintayan. But now Turtle is already up. It looks like Smart Omega gets first dibs on that major objective. And Zol FP, of course, they smell this. They see this. And they're gonna try to go with contest. Kaso there is maybe different airsec connecting onto one, giving enough space para masecure actually dito ni Martis yung Turtle. With that, they get first blood, they get first turret. Rather first Turtle.
Ito rin kasi yung maganda sa mga fighter tanky type of junglers, Yuko, na hindi sila sobrang reliant on the purple or the red buff. So for the Martis here of Keishi, okay lang din sa kanya na hindi niya makuha yung kanyang buff. Pero yun nga, no, for the Hayabusa, it's a different story na kailangan muna niya mag-purple buff. And at that point, for Zol FE, it was either to try and contest the turtle, baka ma-pick off pa dun si Bene, wala silang purple buff. It's gonna be extra difficult for them. So they were willing to give that one away. And still, Smart Omega in the lead as of the moment. We see Mirai and Amore as well here on the top side, trying to give some space dito kay Shinoa, para naman pwede na rin siya umabante dito sa lane natin. And speaking of the numbers advantage and the gold lead, definitely Smart Omega has a lot more items to work around with here. At ayun na, a lot of gold platings there. Shin gonna miss out on that bloody hunt. And instead, the Feathered Airstrike will take down Taro there on the top side. Not Ayanami as well gonna do a 1v1 duel onto Ang. Sobrang low na siya ngayon. 1 HP left and that is gonna finish the job. As well as Mirai on the top side. That is kills after kills all across the board here for Smart Omega.
Honestly, the kind of playstyle, the kind of Feathered Airstrike, it screams Amor. From what we've been seeing all throughout the tournament, yung ganun na akala mo safe ka, tapos dahil napakalaki nga ng range ng far, so you're like, okay, wait, I think I'm not safe. And you also mentioned Mirai on this Kadita. I honestly saw the difference. With Kadita, you can afford to be aggressive and you can actually give so much damage. Kaya siguro, mas comfortable tignan ngayon si Mirai on this Kadita. But as I say that, turrets are falling down. May nakuha na isang turret ang Smart Omega. Lahat ng first, nasa kanila. First blood, first turtle, even the first turret dito.
Yep, and speaking of, this is such a big thing for Smart Omega, getting a 2k gold lead. And now bottom side as well, gonna get a lot of pressure from the side of Zol FE. Pero mukhang ita-trade off na lang dito sa Turtle. Hindi naman natuluyan dito ngayon ng Zol FE. So it's still pretty much Smart Omega getting the better trade here. There's the ultimate snipe. Catching Rain God there, giving some vision for the side of Smart Omega. They have to push forward here, pero mukhang sabi dito ng Zol FE, we're gonna put 3 members here to at least try and push this lane forward kasi naman top side nakuha na rin ng Smart Omega. Make that 4 actually here on the bottom side. Let's see who will engage first. There is the flicker. Let's see who gets caught in. It's actually Mirai, the first one to fall. And that's gonna be the first kill drawn in by Zol FE. But on the other hand though, there's the decimation by Keishi. Dalawa yung nahuli doon, and Smart Omega still getting the better trade-off here.
Even if someone did fall, that was Mirai, I think 2-1 is a good trade at this point in the game kasi we're almost at the 6-minute mark. All of the kills will matter kasi they are transitioning over sa ating mid-game. On top of that, nakakuha pa sila ng isang turret dito sa ating bottom lane. Mirai was able to pick up Pluck of Destiny. That's gonna give a lot of more spammable skills, more damage basically for Kadita. Tapos meron din namang glowing wand na nakuha si Joy dito. So okay, the longer the game is, the scary this Joy gets sobrang close nung iron hook na yun. Grabe naman yung pag-sidestep ni Shinoa, all according to plan.
Yeah, and looking at the map control too. All according to plan din for Smart Omega na talagang nabigyan ng espasyo dito yung dalawang sides. At kung mapapansin mo, Yuko na talagang nag-aano rin talaga dito si Not Ayanami and si Shinoa. Mas makakagalaw sila ngayon when it comes to the objective takes as compared to Zol FE wherein they're just grouping up, finding in the proper target. And Shin as well, been doing really well with those hooks. And now Bene gonna try to go in for Amore. Hindi niya makukuha. Instead, half HP na siya ngayon. They're still waiting for that pickoff, that crucial pickoff, but Smart Omega still on a 4K, going 5K if they manage to get this last turtle. Pero mukhang hindi muna sila mag-e-engage. Ang dami na naman pressure dito sa bottom side. Ano bang meron dito sa bottom side? Gusto yata talaga kunin ng Zol. Tatlo sila dito ngayon sa bottom side.
I feel like, okay, two things. Yun kasi yung lane na nakita natin kay Joy. So they want to stop Joy from snowballing as much as they can. Also the fact na, wait, tas hindi ako onto one. Mayroon pa nga flicker sa Gedli. Tas hindi
pero may sagot.
Naku po, Smart Omega. So talaga dito. And now, the turret did fall down. But up until when can they actually survive? Bennett has to run away. Nag-ultimate lang rin si Leslie. But looks like Smart Omega, they wanna go with the chase. But si Bennett lang talaga ang gusto nilang kunin. Joy is also there. But yeah, as I was saying, sa bottom lane kasi they were able to get one turret. So they're trying to push the limit a little bit more. Tapos syempre you'd want to shut down Joy as much as you can. I think those are the two reasons as to why Smart Omega kept on focusing sa bottom lane natin kanina. But good attempt from Zol FE. We need more of those hooks, honestly.
Yep, yun talaga yung inaabang rin ng Zol FE para rin maka-engage sila. Actually, yun talaga yung pang-engage nila dito. If not, it's actually the electrifying beats or maybe even at times si Bene talaga yung pumupwesto. So they didn't actually go for the last turtle for Smart Omega. At yung mahirap rin kasi dito kung na-hook sila, walang purify sa side ng Smart Omega. So talagang sure kill, lalo na kung may kasama dito yung Zol FE. And now here comes the Lord. There's the bloody hunt. Ito nataya namin. Pero there's strike as well. But Bene gonna try to go in for the back line. Samore gonna use the wings by wings. And Keishi, the first one to fall here in this clash. 2 for none exchange. And Zol FE, quite isolated clashes there. Pero sila yung nagwagi this time as they go straight for this first Lord.
It actually boiled down to the fact that wait, that's the beautiful connecting onto one. Sino ba kung mahal ka dito ng isa na is gonna be at double kill actually going over to Mirai. Hello! And it looks like Smart Omega, they are gonna overstay their welcome. Nili pa kami 24 ng isa. Does get caught out by Carrie. You have different airside being popped as well. Was forced to use the flicker but that's okay. She is still pretty much alive. And Mirai, siya na ang bumabahala sa Lord. Good transition from Smart Omega. But in the previous fight, kaya nanalo ang Zol FE doon is because ang ganda ng sidestep dito ni Carrie. Taro? I believe, yeah, that's Taro. Hindi siya inabot ng flooded airstrike and it gave her a lot more mobility to be able to work around. And here is the instant replay. So, Glue has his eyes set on one. As you can see, look at Carrie. She's safe. She doesn't care. Yung mga tinatamaan ng flooded airstrike dito, they know ba, okay, sige, I'm taking one for the team. Ako bahala tumangkin ng damage basta kahit makakuha tayo ng isa. And they were able to get one, which is not Ayanami.
Yo, here's what I have to say. Okay, there was a time na spam Franco si Mirai. Tapos every time na tumatama yung hook niya, yung sigaw namin ng co-caster, Mirai! Kasi talaga ganun. Tumatagos talaga yung mga hooks. At this time, sobrang clutch move yung rock waves na ginawa niya. Katulad nito na naman. Yes! Oh my goodness! Smart Omega! Right after that, makaka-pick off sila ng tatlo at rekta na dito sa second tier tower. May Lord pa silang baon doon sa top side. That concealed play by Mirai once again, saving the day and giving Smart Omega this Lord. As 10 minutes in, they go straight in for the inhibitor here.
Wow, this is actually crazy. Napakaaga ng 10 minutes for them to be able to stay in the base of their enemies, like a civilian lockup as well. And of course, the never-ending flooded airstrike. The Lord is still up, mortality being picked up by Not Ayanami. Okay, I think they're gonna let this one go. But still, may butas na po ang base ng Zol FE. Vision will be given to the side of Zol FE, but Smart Omega, they want even that mid lane turn. That's gonna be a jump in. Medyo na palalim ata. Now they're gonna be falling away.
Ang sakit
Joy
yan.
in the middle of everything. Napakasakit talaga. And that
Pero
is a
babae pa
flicker
rin.
out to not Ayanami. Imagine, nag-dive ka, pero wait, meron pa hook dito ang isa. Mirai gets shut down. And the gold na punta kay Rain on this Valentina.
Okay, a little bit too deep there for Mirai. Wala na rin siyang thalassophobia, so hindi na rin siya makaregen at that point. Nakuha pa nga dito yung ni Rain God, yung rough waves ni Mirai. So at least for Zol FE, they were able to get that shutdown gold, which is something that they needed the most kasi kanina pa talaga si Mirai nagpapahirap sa buhay dito ng Zol FE. Crucial because in the Lord Pit at doon rin kanina habang nagmamarch siya sa mid lane yung Lord, nakakuha rin ng conceal and rough waves combo doon si Mirai. At the moment, it is Zol FE just going for the counter punish here and looking at our items here. Almost kompleto na rin dito yung Smart Omega, actually going for either their 5th or their 6th item, care of all of the turtles that they've taken in. And speaking of the Lord, Yuko, here it is once again, the Luminous Lord for both sides. Let's see how this will pan out for both of our teams. This is going to be a dictating thing for Smart Omega, dictating factor rather, na kasi inhibitors na lang yung natira dito for Zol FE. Let's see who will engage first, but in terms of positioning, you see that Zol FE is in a much better position. You see the concealed play as well from Shin. Muntikan na doon kay Keishi, may immortality rin naman siya, but this is gonna be a Lord fight. All teams still all up 5 versus 5 at this moment.
Also, Keishi would want to have the immortality pag lumaban siya. And ayun na nga, lumaban na nga talaga. Let's maybe carry trying to deal as much damage as she can. Pero napakaganda ng ginawa ni Benny doon. Nag-focus siya kay Amor on the far side para hindi na nila paproblemahin ang feathered airstrike. With that, it's a 4-5. No one is going anywhere near the Lord right now. Pero si Franco, pabalik na din pala dito ng base nila. Smart Omega though, they're still pretty much holding on to this objective habang si Ang or Angie nag-iintay lang sa Gedli. There you go, Ang, thank you. But yeah, ngayon Zol FE, they are actually the ones in control, waiting possibly na pumasok dito si Ang, and she does have her eyes set on that Ayanami. Farsa is now back, or at least making her way back sa ating Team 5. But hey, yo, Hayabusa, what was that? Bene hurts a lot.
Wow, that high and dry emblem just proving to be such a menace for Smart Omega. Ang hirap rin kasi nito lalo na kung mag-isa ka, mas additional damage. Speaking of Bene, we actually haven't seen a lot of Bene just yet with the assassination, pero sobrang ganda nung pagkahuli niya sa backline dito ng Smart Omega. And honestly, if you are Shinoa, and if you are Amore, you will have a hard time when you're going up against Bene, pero wow! Solo kill onto Bene, and that actually gives Smart Omega the opening to get this Lord. Here comes the better airstrike onto Shin. Wala na rin siyang takas doon na Smart Omega once again in the driver's seat. They always know how to counter punish here, Zol. And it just seems to be working at this very moment. Even though sobrang kontrolado ng Zol FE yung Lord Pit na yun. Will they actually wait for the Lord? Actually, they're gonna try to go in for the inhibitor take here, as not Ayanami gonna be tanking in a lot of the damage. There's a lot of super minions as well here, Yuko. Tingnan natin kung ano pa yung gagawin dito ng Zol FE. Death timers are not that high just as of the moment. So Shin once again back here in the Land of Dawn.
Yep, definitely back. Tingnan natin kung ano pa or sino pa ang may hila ni Shin dito. And you're right, initially Zol FE were the ones that's controlling the Lord Pit, but Smart Omega is tanggalaw lang talaga. You're able to change things. Dalawang feathered airstrike ang nagsabay. I have seen everything. Ganong kalaki yung range pag may dalawang magkatabi. But another huge impact that is making its way into Zol FE space is the Lord. We gotta see the jump in. May who goes going over to 1. Pero baka Smart Omega, they're forced to take a few steps back kasi -1 sila. Napakaganda, tsaka napakabilis na reaction time coming in from Rain God.
Yep, and there's a lot of pressure that was created by Smart Omega. And at this point, Hugo, 15 minutes in, dito na natin nakikita yung mga immortalities na binibili ng dalawang teams natin. Look at that! That's almost like 3 or 4 members that have immortalities at this point, which means that they're really going for the late game. They're really going for the long game here for both sides. And what's really making it difficult here for Smart Omega to close out is also because of the threat here ng hook ni Shin or maybe even the shadow kill na meron yung Hayabusa na talagang mahirap, especially for the squishy heroes here of Smart Omega. And at this point, si Shinoa still pretty much covered. Wala pa siyang deaths dito. But care of Mirai, care of Not Ayanami, and even Keishi here that's really tanking up the frontline damage na binabato ng Zol FP. And at this point, 50 seconds. Let's see who will be taken down here. Ang's gonna be the target. She has the immortality here, pero ang sakit ng damage ng decimation. The immortality gets popped, and that is gonna be a pick-off once again by Smart Omega. And as of the moment, we see that Smart Omega actually has answers after answers at this point. Ilang minutes na lang bago mag-respawn ang Lord Zol FE, though they're looking really good still. Kara Rain God that has been wrecking havoc dito sa Smart Omega. 5k lead pa rin para sa Smart Omega. And looking at our items, Yuko, kompleto na rin dito yung Smart Omega habang kakatapos lang din dito ni Taro mag-build ng kanyang items. Pumili na rin siya na kumuha ng Athena Shield dito kasi medyo mahirap na rin pag nakombohan ka dito ni Mirai or maybe even if na-land dito ni Amore yung kanyang feathered airstrike. Lord, for the tower here on the top side, let's see how this will pan out. This might actually be 2. There's the Bloody Hunt as well. There's the Winter Truncheon by Amore. Buys her some time, but still, it is gonna be Rain God picking up that kill as Zol FE. Magpe-pressure na lang sila ng mga sides habang ang Smart Omega makakakuha ulit ng Lord.
Honestly, nakakatakot na si
nakakatakot talaga dito si Rain, pati si Yuko rin talaga, no? Nagulat din doon sa pangyayari natin. And Rain, only 1 death here in this entire match. And at this point, Arcane Shade and Shadow Strike lang yung ginagawa niya dito. Not so much of the IMU, not so much of taking the ultimates here. So 16 kills para sa Smart Omega. They know that if this actually stretches out even more, mas mahirap na rin. May tools na rin sila para maitapos itong laro na to. May Lord pa silang baon dito, pero ngayon yung nagiging problema rin kasi dito ng Smart Omega is nakaka-shadow kill dito si Bene sa likod, or kung makahook dito si Shin, magiging mahirap talaga for Amore and Shinoa here. Let's see if they will be able to lock in the tower. Rain God still unstoppable at this point. They need to stop the pressure na pinag-create ngayon ng Zol FE. There's minions, there's super minions coming in. Let's see who will try to engage first. Mukhang si Ang yung mag-soak up ng frontline dito. Mahatak ni Not Ayanami all the way back, and still a mega kill for Keishi. Andito na rin yung mga minion waves. Let's see, they don't want to push. They don't want to overextend here for Smart Omega kasi alam nila they might get punished here. There's the feathered airstrike from the backside. Ben gonna try to get it. Shinoa gonna suffer the first casualty at this point. Not Ayanami gonna be forcing her way in, pero magsisplit-split na lang para makatakas doon. Half HP na ngayon ang tower. Sobrang daming pressure ngayon, pero nice defense from Zol FE. Ang daming ginagawa nila dito, especially with the shadow kill from Bennett. That's just proving to be such a deadly thing for Shinoa. I'm not so sure if she's already taken in the Wind of Nature at this point para ma-counter out yung shadow kill. I think even Amore forced to buy that Winter Truncheon kasi ang dami talaga pang pick-off dito from their side. Once again, Zol FE, 19 minutes in, buhay pa rin sila sa laban na ito. 50 seconds before the Lord is up, we see Mirai actually, discarding in the sides. Bene here, nagpakita ulit. May Winter Truncheon na ginawa dito si Amore. And that's gonna be another spell, another resource taken away from Zol FE. Ako rin talaga, kung ganyan yung magiging case, talagang mag-Winter Truncheon ako dyan. Naka-high and dry pa talaga si Bene. So it's really gonna be difficult, especially if matuluyan na masyado kill dito ni Bene yung mga damage dealers ng Smart Omega. And now we see not that much of a gold lead as of the moment. Nagka-catch up na rin talaga yung Zol FE. That's 4k lead still by Smart Omega. And once again, we're seeing a lot of the immortalities. Ito na yung nakakatamad na mag-pick off kasi may immortality pa rin talaga. So you gotta take that one away. The second chance na pwedeng makuha ng mga teams natin. And looking at how things are going, Ang is actually just pressuring in the sides while not Ayanami as well clearing out the ways as much as she can. I'm not so sure if this will be a bait lord. Ang daming mga tools dito ng Zol FE para makakreate ng plays. Lalo na, nakapwesto sila dito, 3. Possible mag-conceal play on Keishi, pero masaspatan siya dito ng Smart Omega. Yeah, actually, here it comes! There's the bloody hand! Makuha dito si Keishi. At ngayon, pumasok na ang lahat ng ultimates binato. Ang sakit ng damage dito ni Mirai onto Rain God! Pero hindi pa rin yata maaabot. Shin, the first one to fall here. There's the shadow kill onto Mirai. Andito na rin si Not Ayanami trying to get Taro. Makakapitan siya dito. And that's gonna be the ultimate snipe onto Ang as well. Forced to pop in the vengeance as Zol FE could be forced to retreat on this one. Not Ayanami. Hindi pa rin talaga tinatantanan dito si Taro. As the rest of Smart Omega, that was just according to plan as they go straight for this Lord habang nag-recall pa ngayon ang Zol FE back to the base, and that is gonna be the plan for Smart Omega. They get in that Lord, cost Zol FE to back away with all the pokes that they did, and once again, they get this Lord, 4th Lord of the game by the way, Yuko.
Alam mo, gusto ko lang sabihin na sa dinamit-dami ng magagandang back and forths doon. 1-to-1 trade ang nangyari sa laban na yon. It was, ang galing nilang maghanap ng target, but at the same time, their defenses are so strong na both the teams were able to limiting possible numbers of casualties. But as you've been saying, Smart Omega, they get that small lead kasi may Lord sila eh. So, looks like they're gonna be having more pushing power. Tapos meron pa ditong, naku, parang habang tumatagal, lalo nagiging tanky, lalo nagiging nakakatakot si Keishi dito. 6-1, by the way, on this Martes. And at the same time, siya pa ang sumasama sa Lord natin dito. That's gonna be Leslie with also being popped as well. Waves are gonna be cleared in. Hayabusa na dyan lang sa Geli. Trying to catch off this, of course, a backliner. Trying to catch off Mirai, but that is with the Lord slowly falling down. And it looks like Smart Omega nakapag-turret, nakapag-base hit na sila. Now you have Zol FE at the front line. Immortality being popped from that Ayanami. But it looks like Smart Omega, they still were able to hold on to their life. Now that will be a good attempt for the side of Zol FE. Bennett tried to look for the possible target. Ralphie being popped.
Ay, nag-lock ng tower!
Smart Omega, they know their priority and they get the base.
Wow!
Victory!
My goodness, Smart Omega on that win streak. And as you can see, calm and collected pa rin. Ganito rin yung setup nila kahapon, Yuko. Chill lang after that win. And such a good play by Smart Omega after 4 Lords in. Finally, nakuha na nila yung base ng Zol FE.
Tapos in fairness na, kasi ang ini-imagine ko, they might focus on taking the kills or at least answering sa ginagawa ng Zol FE. Pero kung ginagawa ng Smart Omega, no. Base lang, yun lang, enough na. And that was actually so worth it kasi they were able to bag game number 1. That's the kind of discipline na we've been seeing a lot from our ladies sa tournament na to. And that's very interesting, and it's very refreshing to watch din kasi hindi lang sila puro laban, hindi lang sila puro aggression. They know when to perform calmly or at least a little more defensively in crucial times.
Oh, at saka nakita mo na rin, Yuko, kung bakit binaban out yung mga assassins dito ni Bene. Talagang gamay na gamay niya rin kasi yung mga heroes. At yun rin talaga yung nagpahirap sa Smart Omega to actually take the base after the first 3 Lords. Nahirapan pa rin talaga sila kasi na-assassinate ni Bene yung backline dito ng Smart Omega. At ito, let's take a look at the highlights here. Ito yung actually, kala ko nga si Notaya namin mahuhuli doon, pero thanks to Mirai, they were actually able to get in the first blood dito. Ang ganda ng start ng Smart Omega. Even actually, I think they've gotten all the Lords. Walang steals dito yung Zol FE. It was a good game, but Zol FE actually super commendable yung kanilang defense, and even the way they hold on to their fort, and they were able to hold on to their dear lives para ma-extend yung game natin up until like 19 or 20 minutes in. Imagine mo yun, na-defend mo yun against Smart Omega that has a lot more high ground. And again, I'd like to commend the play of Mirai here. Honestly, sobrang ano rin talaga eh. Yung Zol FE yung may lamang doon. Pero with the rough waves, petrified. 2 yung nahuli niya. At nahuli pa nga niya si Bene doon. just such a good play, and they were able to actually bounce back from this one. Tuluyan na nga yung Smart Omega nakakuha ng mga objectives here, like all of the lords, and even were able to get in the towers here.
It's a lot of things really going their way, and napaka juicy talaga no highlights from this game number 1. There's a lot more from Zol FE as well. See, ito, I personally believe that this was a win for Smart Omega kasi carry na yung nakuha mo eh. But Shin was able to pull Farsa, tapos napag-follow up agad si Rain God dito, goodness me. Rain God and Bene. Sila yung duo Delubio up against Smart Omega. They were able to just give a lot of crazy kills and anything crazy, honestly. But crazy in a good way. Kaya nga nagiging spicy yung labanan natin dito.
And ito pa, si Not Ayanami, alam niya talaga focus lang sa target. Honestly, wala na siya ibang target. Even in the games yesterday, yung target lang talaga niya, either yung mid laner or yung gold laner, which is the right thing to do as an XP laner, to be able to take down the backlines before anyone else could actually spot out na yung backline pala yung tinitake down mo. At ngayon, ito na yung final death ng Zol FE. Sobrang ganda rin talaga. They're doing their very best to clear out the waves. And yung Smart Omega, nakikita mo rin talaga yung disiplina nila, wherein they really didn't want to overcommit. Sabi na, pag hindi kaya, sige, wag natin pilitin. Pero ito na, yung final deal, pumapasok na si Mirai with the rough waves. Nakakuha siya ng isa, dalawa, pero sabi rin dito ng Smart Omega, let's end this thing, let's lock in the tower. And with Shinoa, speaking of, she is the MVP of this game. Siya talaga yung nag-lock in the tower, and that was game over for Zol FE. 0-1-8 on the Leslie, and can I just say, hindi to naging madali para sa isang Leslie. Ang daming pwede mag-pick off sa kanya, but she was able to hold on to it, and kahit wala siyang kills dito, yung mga assists niya naging malaking bagay para sa Smart Omega. And kung makikita mo yung items niya, it's full damage items for the Leslie.
Yeah, I actually gusto ko na mention mo yon. Like, it's not really an easy game for Leslie. The fact that she has 1 death, that's already very impressive. Kasi you have a Joy, you have a Carry, you have a Hayabusa, you even have a Franco na kakatapatin mo dito, but she's okay. She was able to survive, and she was able to provide, I believe, vision. Tapos yung ultimate niya is like a good target aimer, or like aimer para sa Smart Omega in that game number 1. But overall, it was really just them performing so well as a team. There were a handful of fumbles, but that's okay. That happens. Zol FE kasi talaga, they are a very strong opponent, really posing as a problem for Smart Omega dito. I guess it just so happened na when it comes to macro or objective takes, medyo mas nauuna ang Smart Omega, kaya they were able to snowball that victory. That Lord, that 4th Lord talaga, Burger King, that's what made it happen.
That's right. And here's for Smart Omega, right? Hindi, ang daming lords bago nila na-end yun. Kaya naman yung Zol FE, no, sobrang commendable yung inyong laro, yung inyong pagka-defense in this first game of the day. But again, this is for Zol FE fans, don't worry. This is just the first game, and Smart Omega is just on a hot win streak as of the moment. So, ayun, mainit talaga pag lower bracket run. Extra gigil factor, lalo na yung kahapon kasi yung mga matches just do or die for Omega. And they're just treating it the same way. And as for Zol FE, congratulations, by the way, to our 2 teams. I would just like to say they are our representatives for the Philippines sa ating upcoming USC 2023. So, congratulations sa inyong dalawa. At ngayon naman, yung pinaglalaban nila ang Grand Finals, or ang maging champion dito sa UniPin Ladies Series Philippines. At ngayon, papasok na tayo sa ating game number 2 shortly, Yuko. I'm guessing still bans on the Assassins. Tingnan na lang natin rin kung sino yung nasa blue side at sino yung nasa red side, kasi malaking factor din yun when it comes to the banning phase, kung ano yung ibaban mo or kung ano yung posibleng ilalabas mo sa laro na yun.
I feel like Smart Omega might go over sa ating red side, but again, if you're at the red side, you're just really forced to ban out 1-1. And yung mention mo na prio bans on the Assassin for Bene, it made so much sense. Si Hayabusa, yung kit niya, it looks easy to navigate, right? Meron ka lang shadow, mag-ultimate ka lang sa kalaban, but like the ramping time and like who to target, how to maneuver around, kaya dun yung parang difficulty from this hero But Benny made it look so easy. Again, that one pick off sa ating Lord Pit where she was able to get yung farsa nga nung game number 1. That is what made things happen. And now, what's gonna happen is we're gonna hop into the pick and ban phase for game number 2. And I was right, Smart Omega, nasa right side na sila.
Your team is banning.
And for Smart Omega, let's take a look. They are on the red side as of the moment. Zol Effie hindi pa rin talaga. Pinapakawala yung Estes. Kasi imagine mo pa naman, di ba? Napakaraming mga meta heroes. Well, Estes is still part of the meta. Pero ang napakaraming heroes na pwede mo iprayo. Katulad ng game kahapon sa MHRLK G, di ba? Para sabi natin, oh, nandyan yung Faramis, nandyan yung Valentina, nandyan rin yung Farsa. But you know what? Smart Omega is just like, nope, we're not picking that one up. We're just gonna pick up the Estes. We're comfortable with it. We like the utility. And I'm just saying that Mirai is just one of their roamers that is super flexible as well. Ang dami niyang mga heroes. Depende yan sa kanya kung utility type siya na support or utility type of roam or pick-off type. Nakita nyo rin yan kanina sa kanyang kadita. So let's see kung ano yung flavor na ilalabas ngayon ng Smart Omega. Zol ngayon yung may first pick. Open ngayon yung Eve. Open rin yung Joy. At ayan, right on cue, Yuko, we see the Eve. Valentina kaya ang isasagot dito ng Smart Omega since the Farsa's already out care of the global ban.
Mukhang they're gonna focus on getting that paychecks given na Zol FE did ban that out in game number 1. Tapos meron pa tayong Kaji na tigahila. So I guess that's like pag may na Divine Judgment, sure target or sure kill na for Beatrix dito. Another thing na I was actually gonna ask if it's time for Smart Omega to pick up carry. But I guess again, better choice talaga yung Beatrix dito. And if you're gonna be rained with bullets, might as well get a shield, diba? That is why Lolita is being picked up by Zol FE plus a Melissa. Kiting potential plus shielding potential, very much on point for Zol FE so far.
I think this is going to be like sobrang bilis na rin nung pick and bans natin dito, Yuko, which means that both of the teams, they already anticipated what they need to pick up. A lot of respect pa rin kay Bene dito. Halos lahat ng mga heroes niya tinatanggal. Hindi ako magtataka kung tanggalin nila yung Lancelot dito, not unless gusto yon kunin ni Keishi. Pwede na rin kunin kasi ang ganda rin nung Lancelot, no? Mag-dash in, dash out ka lang, ang bilis magkuha ng objectives. I think Keishi is also quite comfortable with this hero. Nagtatanggal rin sila ng possible side lanes dito. Siguro mag-uubusan tayo ng mga side lanes dito kasi ang dami na natanggal. Arlot, the Joy, the Glue is also out in the Lapu-Lapu. So yung what's left here is siguro I'm looking perhaps maybe the Terizla or the Esmeralda, back on the Esmeralda, which you love seeing by the way. Pero wow, ang dami natanggal dito. So with this being said, sa Smart Omega, mukhang gusto nila kunin yung Lancelot dito. Not unless i-ban ito ng Zol FE.
Let's see kung ibaban nga. I mean, it's still of course mind games, but I can definitely feel the tension sa ating pick and ban phase for game number 2. Another question hovering over my head is, mag-min si Tar kaya yung Smart Omega dito? See, Lolita does have a dash. So, pwede naman, di ba? But let's see, kasi baka pag hindi naman binan yung Lancelot, it's gonna be a different story.
Oo nga, no? Yung ano pala, yung hero pool din ni Keishi dito. For Zol FE, they still have that last ban. Is it gonna be on Keishi or is it going to be on... Oh, okay. So the Esmeralda, like I pointed out, na next best option. Wow, okay. Ang dami mga sides na natanggal dito. Paunahan na lang at ayan na nga yung sinasabi ko. Mukhang sila nga talaga yung maglalancelot. Kaya pala inopen nila at nagtanggal na lang ng ibang heroes dito ni Bene. And looking at Bene's hero pool, magtatank kaya siya. Oh, something new. Pain for Bene. And actually ito, Yuko, isa sa mga na-buff na heroes at napakaganda rin naging run niya. When it comes to the buff heroes, this Pain is just dishing out a lot of the damage. May konting adjustments na ginawa sa kanya in the recent patch, but still pretty much good when it comes to the jungle role. Ang bilis mag-farm, ang bilis na ng pag-push, and great ultimate, but looks like the Smart Omega as well, hovering over this Johnson. I would like to put my bet on the Edith though.
What if Johnson? I'm probably gonna go with Edith.
Johnson side lane. Oh, ito rin,
you mentioned
pwede rin to.
I think Teresa is much safer kasi imagine na nag-penalty zone ka sa even backline or even sa gitna, you're probably gonna be able to get Benedetta. Probably makuha mo din dito si Melissa. So it's being able to catch as much targets as you can with one skill, with one ultimate. So Teresa, like what Bergen predicted, will be the last pick para sa ating Smart Omega. Again, Smart Omega was able to win game number 1. If they win this, it will be match point para sa kanila.
Wow, sweet revenge on Zol FP if ever they do, right? Pero the game is far from over kasi meron pa nga tayong 2 matches to go for Smart Omega to actually win this series. This is already game number 2 and Smart Omega picking up that first win for the series. And let's take a look at the lineup once again here for both sides. That's Zol FE on the left side as Smart Omega as well on the right side. Ang daming mga conference picks dito from Smart Omega. They don't really have that much of a CC na meron yung side ng Zol FE, but thanks to the Terizla, isa rin to sa mag-e-engage agad sa side ng Zol FE since this is the hero that has the most CC. The Divine Judgment is more of, I think, yung sagot nila sa Eve to cancel out the real-world manipulation. Pero I'm looking forward to see this Bane in play as well. Napakatagal na natin hindi nakita to in the jungle role. And I love seeing it making a comeback just like how you love seeing the Esmeralda back in the XP lane.
Yup. And syempre alam din natin na yung Bane, ang napakasakit niya ng assassin na yan. Especially when he pops his ultimate na pwede. Oh! Okay, so in a way, Terizla and Bane have similar ultimates kasi kaya nilang mag-catch ng madaming heroes. So it's gonna be a fight of who gets to pull the trigger first dito. But I will say this, Bene on this Bane has a lot more damage. So wait, another one that has so much damage is actually the Ring of Order ni Kaja being able to push Shin back earlier into the game.
You know what? Ito yung Kaja na I'm not so sure. Napakatagal na rin siya na wala sa meta or kumbaga parang before the buff of the Kaja wherein you can spam the Ring of Order. Sobrang spammable niya kasi talaga dati. Medyo tinaasan na nila yung cooldown time as of the moment so hindi na niya masyadong maisa-spam yung Ring of Order. But nakita mo naman yun, di ba? Parang dalawa lang na Ring of Order. It's enough to make Shin back away from that one. And now Mirai as well gonna put a lot of pressure onto Taro. And alam naman natin no na mahirap, sobrang deadly rin itong Melissa na to once nakaroon ng items, nakapwesto ng mabuti when it comes to the late game. But looking at both sides, they're just doing their very best to poke at each other para naman makauwi yung mga members dito ng either Smart Omega or ng Zol FE right before the objectives. And speaking of that, in just a few more minutes, andito na rin yung turtle natin, Ang as well. Napapaatras dito sa damage ni Not Ayanami. Both sides don't want to overcommit as of the moment, pero andito na yung both sides natin. Kung nakikita natin bottom side, they're already positioning themselves here at the turtle pit. Let's take a look at that.
Istan yung isa, but we're gonna transition over to the turtle area. As Berkim did say, Zol FE, okay, natakot natin yung Kaja, that's enough. Kaya mo nalimpad yung manok na yan. Let's see if the turtle is now up. That's gonna be the ultimate connecting onto no one. Plus, ultimate coming out from Benay. Napakagandang timing, was able to even get that turtle. And after that, there is gonna be another kill going over. Hindi pala another, that's gonna be the first kill going over to Ang on Miss Benedetta. Ako po, duelist talaga, lumalaban talaga.
Wow, sakto yung Petrify. Sobrang low na kasi doon ni Not Ayanami. Popped in the penalty zone. Kaso lang din, siya rin yung na-penalize doon sa moment na yun. May real-world manipulation pa pala. Tapos mayroon din deadly catch dito from Bene. At sakto-sakto rin dito yung retribution ni Bene. If not, it would have been Smart Omega. Actually, both Bene and Keishi actually pressed that retribution on time. But it was Bene that actually got in the turtle for the side of Zol FE. Quite different from the game that we had in game number 1 wherein Smart Omega yung tuluyan nakakuha ng mga objectives. But seems like Smart Omega, they have different plans here on the top side. Ang daming pressure kay Taro dito ngayon. And this is something that they need to do before the Melissa scales up.
They do. Kailangan talaga maunahan. Because, well, a scaled Melissa na anime character pa, it's gonna be a huge problem and it's gonna be an adversity para sa Smart Omega. But yeah, it looks like for now, walang masyadong lumalaban. It's just like post-turtle spawn and, it was quite an intense game. the most they could do is rotate to a lane, probably either mid or top lane. But now here at the bot lane, mukhang may nahuling isa, hindi nakakagalaw dito ang ating Teresa rather, and they're gonna try to go with the save. They were able to trade it, so at least 2-1 naman ngayon ang nasa board natin.
Uy, akala ko yung Numenon Blast. Si Mirai hindi pala. It was actually Amore. At saktong-sakto yun, na-punish si Bene. Actually, ang daming pressure dito kay Not Ayanami in this game. Ilang beses na rin siya na nadalawan dito sa lane. It's quite a different playstyle when she has the glue. But with the Teresla kasi there's really not much escape that you have. Only the flicker out here. So once tumalon siya dito with the penalty zone, nagamit na yung flicker, there's nothing much you can do. Here comes the real manipulation. And the Dominant Blast onto 2. Makakatakas ba itong dalawa? Mirai, really low HP. But there's still some shields here. As Smart Omega will actually take in the turtle at that. Was it Smart Omega?
Yeah, that was Smart Omega. Okay, kasi nag-timing din yung napatay nila, yung isa from Zol FE. That was okay. Grabe naman yung map presence ng Smart Omega. Lumalaban sa taas, tapos nag-go objective sa baba. But now, yeah, I'm trying to get a pick off here. It's not gonna be enough though, kasi medyo tanky ang Teresa natin. That's not Ayanami. Now, Keishi has her eyes set on Bene, kaso back na pala. Kasi pagkalabas, mayroon pang tatlo. So, they won't be able to maybe win that 3v4 item so far. Looks like, okay, maganda ang bigayan dito for Beatrix. Slowly but surely being able to ramp up on damage. However, Not Ayanami. The longer the game is, mas nagiging tanky talaga yung Teresla na to.
Oo. Speaking of tankiness, Not Ayanami is on a Tenacity emblem. And speaking of, on the top side as well, Shinoa forced the flicker out of that one. Amore as well getting in that real world manipulation. Keishi in the nick of time jumps right in and gets the puncture in. And that's gonna be 2 kills picked up by Smart Omega on the top side. I think they can actually take the tower dito sa top habang may pag-clear din dito sa mid side. So this time, much better na rin yung wave clear. For Zol FE, they have a lot more advantage when it comes to the wave clear, and they have good lane management so far. Despite the fact na na-pressure ng Smart Omega yung mga lanes nila, they still have all of their towers up.
Honestly, kinabahan ako for Shinoa kanina kasi she took a lot of damage, but someone that's taking a lot of damage right now is actually Taro. But then again, naglapag na mahiwagang manika, and Keishi looks like, okay, she is just gonna let that go. Lancelot will make his way up to the turtle pit, possibly, kasi dun din pupunta ang ibang members ng Zol FE in a few minutes. They're probably gonna have first dibs, kaso naghihintay pala dito ang Smart Omega. That's yung binumin ng blast connecting and forcing a flicker out of this Kadra, out of Mirai. Now, Smart Omega, they are focusing fire on the turn that is gonna be, ang daming fish na nag-swim. Tapos pa kaya sila nag-sidestep. Good reaction time, honestly, from Amor as well as Bene. But now another B, aka this Beatrix, will try to look for a target. Did not get one with that Smart Omega. They take a step back.
Mas marami rin kasing AOE ngayon yung Zol FE, no? Yan, dami nga nun kasi nakuha rin ni Amore yung deadly catch dito ni Bene. And it's always on time, no? Yung Zol FE, they've been getting in all these turtles, which is something that they really lacked in game number 1. And once again, Keishi here, forced to use that Thorn Rose to clear out the waves, but still able to survive that one. 1 HP na lang din dito. Nahatak ngayon si Shin at tinatag na rin yung real world manipulation. 1 HP left for the side of Smart Omega as they get it, the Dominant Blast. Wala muna makuhuli dito. A lot of flickers used in as Keishi will take down Rain God, but for the price of her own life. So it's a 1-for-1 trade for both sides. Ang ganda ng mga exchanges natin. A lot of pressure as well on the lanes. At habang sinasabi natin yan, no, nakuha na pala ng Smart Omega yung top side tower natin. And looking at our items, that's a BOD for Shinoa. We also got 2 core items as well for Taro. So abang natin yung mga damage na ilalatag niya with the dolls of the Melissa. And as of the moment, ang baba ng kill score natin na 8 minutes in. Sobrang ingat ng mga teams natin dito, Yuko.
To think na lahat nung mga intro na yon maganda, pero papunta pa lang pala tayo sa exciting part because this is we're going into the 9 or 10 minute mark of the game, and like what you said, low count kasi it looks like they want to go with the macro and objective part of the match. Medyo muntik na rather si Mirai doon. Ang natuluyan rather ay ang turret dito sa bot lane for the side of Smart Omega. That's gonna be the blast connecting onto one. Mirai, napapaaray talaga. That will be Magic as well, trying to shower them down with bullets. But to no avail. At least, at the very least, naging safe naman dito si Mirai.
Nakita mo yun? Yung isang tower lang nakuha ni Bene with the deadly catch, and that's honestly something that sobrang nagiging advantage talaga. Not Ayanami gonna miss then that penalty zone, forced to flicker out. At ngayon, half HP na lang dito yung Lord. Let's see, it's gonna be a retribution battle once again. But looking at the positioning, mas contained ngayon ng Zol FE. There's a lot more CC, a lot more AOE as of the moment. Tingnan natin kung sino yung makakakuha ng Lord natin. And seems like it's Zol FE. Pero sabi nga daw nila, Keishi daw yung retribution gods. This is something that Smart Omega needs to do. Despite the fact that marami silang kill ngayon, may Numenon Blast na naganap. Si Mirai na naman yung makakuha ng Numenon Blast. At ngayon yung Lord still Benny gonna take that one up as the rest of Smart Omega. They're really low. 2 down here. Double kill for Shin as they got what they wanted. Smart Omega forced to back away, pero actually mag-ano pa sila, papalag pa sila doon. 2-for-2 exchange this time. Amore forced to flicker out. Ang as well still has that. Petrify takes down Amore, at habang sinasabi natin yun, si Shinoa tamang trabaho lang sa mid lane. Nakuha na nga niya yung tower. Make that 2, okay? Wow, muntika na rin yun. 1 HP left for Shinoa. Good presence of mind. Tingnan natin yung instant replay na yun. Brought to you by TikTok.
Yep, 1.9 yung turret doon kasi hindi pa fully nakuha. So yeah, overall that was just Zol FE win, honestly. Akala ko nga this is the moment na pwedeng humabol ng Smart Omega. Because look at that, ang sakit ng damage, and there was one kill that went over to Amor. Kaso I remember, wait, nag-rotate nga pala yung Benedetta, and both of them were very, very low. Someone that's not low right now though is Shin. However, she is in the middle of everything, getting so much damage from Benedetta. Rather, from this Beatrix, meron pa tayong real world manipulation.
Ang sakit!
Tapos, meron din dito, naman, gabi naman yung Melissa. And last even the kill going over to 1. You have Bene popping in with the ultimate. Ang bilis ng galaw ng Zol FE dito, really not leaving any room to breathe for Smart Omega.
Okay, this is the difference in this game is there's a lot more wave clear, a lot more AoE and CC from the side of Zol FE. Kaya naman nahihirapan ngayon yung Smart Omega when it comes to engaging. They always have the tools to engage, pero hindi yung kumbaga parang kung may sinagot na yung Zol FE either with the Numenon Blast or the real world manipulation. It's so hard to escape it. Especially, there's only the flickers out here for Smart Omega, and sometimes those flickers are used to engage. And now we see, once again, the Numenon Blast onto 2. Isolated clashes, you know, the first one to fall. Not Ayanami as well, unable to do anything about the penalty zone. At ngayon, may counter-engaging yan si Amore with the Numenon Blast. Dalawa yung nahuli ngayon from Smart Omega. They're forced to back away from this one as Zol FE still in control. They are looking to take in the second tier tower, and look at how fast Benny is chunking that down.
Grabe, iba talaga nagagawa pag may pain dito. Let's repeat ultimate again. Tapos maka-back away talaga ang Smart Omega. There is a lot of damage being taken by Ang, but hindi pa rin siya napatay dito ng Smart Omega. And of course, before you leave, make sure na walang buff ang kalaban nyo. Zol FE gets to steal onto the buff bago sila bumalik dito.
Oo, saktong pagkuha lang din ng mga dito, ng mga buffs, mga resources. At lalo na, malaki factor din ito. Ito yung sasabi ko na for Keishi, kailangan talaga, for assassins rather, mas kailangan mo talaga ng buff, and for the Lancelot as well, yung cooldown time. When it comes to the dashes, kailangan nyo yung purple buff. And now, Smart Omega, they have to think it through before they go for the engage because they don't have that much CC. So, mas magiging problema ngayon for the side of Smart Omega is for Amore, what ultimate to take? Is it the Numenon Blast or is it the real world manipulation? And as for Mirai, as of the moment, diba, pag pumasok siya dito with the Divine Judgment, who will she take down first? Ang dami kasi pwedeng pumunish sa kanya once na pumasok siya. At ngayon, second Lord of the game, Looks like Zol FE is positioning themselves to take this one. They have to think it through first. At ngayon, Not Ayanami looking to find a target here. Sobrang low na siya ngayon. Tingnan mo yung damage doon kay Shinoa. Nagulat ngayon yung Zol FE with that play. But it's still gonna be Bene taking in that Lord with the retribution. Triple kill for Shinoa. 3-man down for the price of the Lord. I'd still say that was a great answer from Smart Omega, but Zol FE still, andyan pa rin yung presence of mind kahit dalawa na lang sila natira dito.
Presence of mind, definitely the term here. And nakakatuwa na Benny was still able to get that Lord. More breathing time most probably for Zol FE. But mukhang nalinis na po ng Smart Omega ang lahat ng outer turrets for Zol FE as well. At mukhang gusto pa ata mag-shove ng minion wave papasok sa top lane. But yeah, Lord has spawned. Smart Omega turned our pivots their attention on the way there. Medyo masakit, but hey, mas masakit dito si Shinoa. Has to be the jump in as well from Zol FE, but Smart Omega, they know how to play this one defensively.
Sobrang nagulat doon yung Zol FE sa play na ginawa doon ng Smart Omega. Actually, galing doon sa kabilang side doon si Shinoa along with Mirai and completely caught the members of Zol FE off guard. Kasi yung inaabang lang talaga nila doon was Keishi. Sabi nila magsi-steal tong si Keishi eh. Pero yung di nila akalain is nagaling pala si Shinoa. Plus, ang sakit na ng damage niya. Nakita mo yung BOD. I think by this time, nakakuha na rin siya ng Hunter Strike and even the Malefic Roar. So talaga tumatagos yung damage with the Weapons Master emblem na kinuha ni Shinoa. And they're still alive and kicking in this game. Take a look at the gold lead. Still, Zol FE, of course, care of all the turrets that they've taken. And all of the kills that they've taken actually. At humabag na nga yung Smart Omega at this point with the kills. 1 kill ahead lang sila. Pero we're seeing at this point that there's a lot of immortalities being purchased as well. 15 minutes in. Papasok na rin tayo sa third Lord of the game. So far on point yung Zol FE sa pagkakakuha ng mga Lords. And let's see if Smart Omega, I think, if they take this Lord, they can create more pressure dito sa Zol FE. Kasi ang dami ng turrets na nakuha ng Zol FE at this point.
Yep, they can. Tapos mukhang gustong mag-death brush ng Zol FE dito. However, looks like no one from Smart Omega is falling for it. So, kailangan na nilang mag-rotate. Or at least, you know, if it's their plan na huwag mag-reveal ng kanilang positioning, it's working so well so far. Smart Omega though, they are being very careful as well. Amor will be there pag dash in. Mukhang never mind, si Ang na napakay dito, si Bila jump in. But will it be enough? Plus si Bila dash out. Ang napakaganda ng yung blast. Ito connecting on to 2. Tapos na be Bene, get the kill onto Amor. Here comes Keishi at the back line. Naglabas na triangle. Has her eye set on Taro. It looks like we also have Melissa dishing so much damage. Shinoa forced to fall back. Mukhang yung Smart Omega ang gustong mag-pick off doon. Pero sila ang napipick off ngayon. With that, Lord is already up, but they don't care. Zol FE, they want to get more kills. Killings be going over to Bene, and it looks like Smart Omega, meron silang nakuhang isa. Gets the kill onto Shin, and they're happy with that.
30 seconds before Keishi is up, and that was such a good counter engage by Zol FE. Completely catching the members of Smart Omega off guard with that Numenor Blast. Kahit nawala na si Shin doon, that was totally worth it, as Zol FE will be picking up the fourth Lord of the game. And will this be deja vu this time for the side of Zol FE? Sila na yung nakakuha nitong Luminous Lord, 17-minute Lord. This is a lot of pressure on the sides, Yuko. Pwede nila makuha yung inhibitors dito if played well. As Smart Omega, they still do have a decent wave clear with the Beatrix, pero ang daming pressure nito. Lahat ng lanes gumagalaw ngayon as Smart Omega. Their defenses are up once again, but as for Zol FE, they got what they wanted. At least pressure in the sides, and with the bait here, mas mabilis sila makakapush.
Ooh, lahat talaga ng lanes are being pressured right now, but Smart Omega was able to take down the Lord. Well, I wouldn't say that quick, but okay lang, at least hindi naman nakapasok or nakalapit yung Lord sa base nila. But now, in retrospect, you did say na Zol FE, they're the ones in the driver's seat. Sila ang aggressive, sila ngayon ang in the lead. But if Smart Omega wins this fight, the death timers will be so high na I think afford ng Smart Omega dire-diretso yung mid lane. So that's another like side of what's happening right now into the Land of Dawn. Okay, ang sakit na ng lahat ng damage. No wonder ganun pala yung Melissa kanina. Look at those items. Literally, wala na siyang hahanapin na iba. Yung ano na lang, yung victory na lang, yung kukunin ni Taro dito.
Oo, naka-inspire pa nga siya. No? Up pala yung inspire dito ni Taro. No? So, pwede rin niya gamitin yon kung nakapwes na maayos. At yan na naman yung Dominon Blast. Dalawa yung nahuli. May Deadly Catch pa nga. May Petrified din kay Nota Yanami. She's really low, but unable to do anything about the damage of that Bane. But Shinoa as well. Ang sakit na ng damage niya. At ngayon, sobrang low na ng mga members ng Zol FE. They're forced to back away from that one. Keishi as well gonna try to get in Ang, but unable to do so. Meron pang shields from that the side of Zol FE as still successful defense by the Empresses.
Honestly, yung immortality ni Not Ayanami Dawn, it bought her so much time. It helped Smart Omega so much to drive out Zol FE from their base. Very, very low for Ang. Mireille, she's okay taking that much damage, but it was such a control and so much discipline coming out from Smart Omega. And here's the instant replay, of course, presented by TikTok. So, it is Shinoa making a lot of things happen. Siya yung nasa backline na, kuha pa siya ng isa dito. And while the others from Smart Omega are falling back, sinubukan mag-pick off ni Keishi dito. That's fine. That's Lancelot. Napaka-mobile niya. It just so happened na Ang was just very slippery. Nagalawan lang din talaga yung Lancelot natin dito. And as I mentioned, Lancelot, Keishi picks up the immortality. Mukhang lahat na ata ng mga players natin halos may pangalawang buhay.
Ito yung nakakatakot kasi wala nang mga inhibitors na tira dito for Smart Omega. So Ang has been pressuring that bottom side a lot, which causes some of the members of Smart Omega to actually go back to the base and recall. And if you see it, it's not Ayanami actually and Amore. At kung mapapansin mo, hindi kasi ganun kaganda yung wave clear ng Terizla. So you see like two members of Smart Omega, going back to the base, clearing that out. So this gives Zol FE a lot more advantage when it comes to the Lord fight. But immortalities have been purchased here for both sides as Smart Omega, they're looking to get this Lord. Kailangan nila to. And as for Zol FE, with this last Luminous Lord, with the Bane, with the Melissa, ang dami lang pwedeng gawin with this last Lord. They can actually lock in the base at alam na alam yun ng Smart Omega. They have to contest this one. But again, there's a lot of pressure on the sides. They have to watch out for the lanes as well kasi baka maging minions yan if hindi nila alalayan yung lanes kasi ang dami rin pressure na ginagawa ni Ang and so far that's been paying off. Half HP na ngayon ng Lord.
They are still going all in. Zol FE, they're the ones na they have the luxury to chill for a bit. At syempre, si Amor dito siya yung in charge na bawal lumabat ang Benedetta. But anyway, that's gonna be Benny with the ultimate. Napakasakit talaga. Keishi, immortality has been popped. Here have Shinoa. Meron pa ditong penalty zone coming out from Terizla. Napakasakit. Amor gets a kill onto one. And it looks like ang next target ay si Not Ayanami. Jump in kay Taro dito. And that will be an unstoppable Bene. So far, it is a 1-to-1 trade in favor of Wit. I think it's in favor of Smart Omega just because naka-pick up sila dito ng damage dealer ng Benedetta. However, Zol FE, they have their eyes set on the Lord. Napakasakit talaga dito ni Melissa.
Ito yung real
force to go back, but napakaganda. Real manipulation coming out from Rain God, but that's double going over to Amor. They want more. They smell blood and they really want to shed it. 3-1. Shin, mukhang napakasikat, napaka-sought after. However, she was able to get Keishi. Now, 3-2 in favor of Smart Omega.
Oh my goodness! What was that? Grabe yung mga sagot dito. Like, Shane getting that Luminous Blast. May hampas pa ng Lord at sobrang low na doon ni Keishi. Oh my goodness. Now, almost. That was almost, okay? Like, that was actually a good answer. That was a good trade for Smart Omega kasi sila yung nakakuha ng tatlo. Pero yung Zol FE, sabi nila, not today, Shin. Shin was like, I'm gonna get that Luminous Blast. I'm gonna pick off Keishi right before that Lord. At ngayon, walang makaka-Lord. Back to reset for both of these teams. 22 minutes in. And once again, Naghihintay sila bago mag-respawn ngayon yung damage dealers. But yeah, commendable plays from both sides. Amore's real-world manipulation right in the nick of time, as well as that Numenon Blast.
Mukhang, okay, if hindi makakalord ang Smart Omega, yung Zone FE daw, hindi din makakapag-lord. But honestly, so far, it is a very nitty-gritty game, gritty match. It shows, again, something we've been saying kanina pa. It goes to show how close these two teams are in terms of like yung mga skill-wise, even sa draft nila dito. It's all really gonna boil down to all of these, yung mga surprising kills. Example, yung real manipulation kanina. Tapos yung isang play ni Shinoa na she got 2 or 3 kills. Doon na lang talaga nagkakatalo yung dalawang teams natin dito.
Yep, we're down to a pause here, called in by Zol FE. And these are the crucial moments talaga na hard reset na naman from both sides. Actually, if hindi naka-Numenon Blast doon si Shin, that might have gone a different way. Makakakuha yung Smart Omega ng Lord. And at this point, right, both teams just need to have that reset. Pause muna to fix what they need to do here for Zol FE. But ang ganda ng laban nito, Yuko. Game number 2 pa lang ito and sobrang I think at this point kahit sino yung manalo here, sobrang deserving nila sa kanilang USC 2023 spot. And even being here at the Grand Finals, kitang-kita mo naman yung mga skill sets ng ating mga players. It is just answers after answers here from two of the top teams here in the Philippines. As we get back into the game, sinisimulan na ulit ng Zol FE ang ating Lord.
There you go. Pero syempre sinatayan namin. Ayun yung ginagawa niya. Tiga-check, tiga-bigyan ng information, and looks like the information has been sent because there is Keishi lurking at the sides as well. Immortality being picked up by Nat Ayanami. Pag sumilip ka ng bush, patay ka. But so far, no one is actually pulling anything too crazy unless mag-face check si Ang dito. You also have a Amor at the mid lane all alone. And kumuha lang ng pang-tanky na items si Mirai dito. But the puppet and the doll has been laid out as well. Down to almost 1/4 ng buhay. Shinoa, napakasakit! What was that? She is now unstoppable. Now that is gonna be the blast connecting onto 1, onto 2. Meron pa tayong real world manipulation. But Amor gets some mega kill onto Ang. At gusto pang kumuha dito ng isa. But there's gonna be the shutdown onto Mirai. That was a 2-1. But still, ang ganda ng sudden movement, ng sudden aggression ng Smart Omega. On top of that, they get the Lord. Na-shutdown nga lang si Shinoa, but still, they get the Lord.
Wow, 2-4-2 trade even at that point. And Smart Omega this time on the lead. While all of that was happening, actually, yung ginawa na lang ng ni Shinoa doon was to bait away the members of Zol habang kinukuha ng Smart Omega. Yung Lord, they're just so good with decision makings in very crucial moments here for Smart Omega. Can you imagine that? Kalaban mo yung Numenon Blast, kalaban mo rin yung real world manipulation. I mean, he thought it is all over. It's just Smart Omega once again in the driver's seat, 25 minutes in. Pero by this time for Zol FE, they should be able to melt down this Lord. Both sides, they don't really have their damage dealers. But for Smart Omega, they have the upper hand here to engage. So may Lord dito, kalahati na yung HP. Amore getting that deadly catch. They can pressure in all of the sides here ng Zol FE. Habang ang Zol naman ngayon on the defensive side as they get Taro once again up in the land of Dawn.
Sila naman ngayon ang nagsistay lang sa base nila. Vision given, they see Mirai, they probably even saw Keishi here. But Lord with again half a life, still making his way sa ating mid lane. At habang may naglalakad sa mid lane, si Nat Ayanami nang gugulo lang sa top lane. Classic Irisla. But hey, Zol FE, they have the damage at the very least. Hindi mo lang nakahampas ang Lord natin dito. This could be a good opening for a fight for Smart Omega, but as always, kailangan nilang maging wary sa ultimate na pwedeng ipas ni Bene.
Grabe dun yung Divine Judgment ni Mirai. No, saktong-sakto. Ayan na naman. Speaking of the Divine Judgment, yung si Ben. sa tatlo. Wala pa rin mahuhuli dito. Real world manipulation, kinasta na nga dito ng side ng Zol FE. Everyone is still alive, but that is gonna be 2 inhibitors down for the side of Zol FE. Make that 3, and now it's even for both sides. Smart Omega on a 4K gold lead at sila naman this time ang kukuha ng mga resources dito ng Zol.
I have never gasped so fast my entire life. Nakita ko kasi si Mirai doon kasi that was so risky. But I'd like to think that it worked well for Smart Omega even though they did not get the kill. Kasi that's basically still the reason why they were able to get the last mid lane turret. But Zol FE defenses, ang ganda, very much on point as well. And ngayon, may nag-list na mong bitas na
ang sakit.
Backline. And napasa talaga. The penalties are being popped as well. But now Amor is unstoppable. Everyone is falling down. Nagsimula talaga sa isang magandang penalty zone from Not Ayanami. That will be 2K going over to Amor. And right on cue, the Lord is up. Now Smart Omega, I think they can end this. They have enough damage now to duke it out against Eng. And now there's the immortality being popped as well. Sinasayuan dito. They're focusing on the base. That is gonna be Amor going godlike. The death timers are so high. And with that, Smart Omega gets the game number 2. And now, 2-0 tayo ngayon sa ating Grand Final.
Still on a win streak. Oh my goodness, Smart Omega. You can see the smiles on their face. Just one more win away from getting that championship. We see Coach Bam as well giving them that high five. And honestly, Yuko, can I just say they're just so good when it comes to the late game. Kung mapapansin mo, kahit dehado sila sa mga early stages of the game, they always find those crucial pickoffs in the latter stages of the game, and that's how Smart Omega was able to win this. That almost wipeout on Zol FE at that last moment completely caught them off guard. I think makikita natin yan sa match highlights kanina. Yung last team fight nila, and that was enough to seal the deal for Smart Omega to get us through this match point already for the next game.
Honestly, yung penalty zone, tapos yung nagpaulang bigla ng bullet si Shinoa, tapos I think nag-follow up pa doon si Keishi. That was late game. So that's Terizla, that's Beatrix, that's Lancelot. Yeah, I think we all understand yung gravity ng moment na yun. I really cannot wait to see what is gonna be seen from our highlights. Kasi ang dami, not just from Smart Omega, but meron din dito, of course, from Zol FE. It was a lot of good decision making from both teams. Bene definitely posing as a threat dito. But yeah, I really cannot wait to see kung ano bang pwede maipakita ng Zol FE dito because honestly, their backs are against the walls right now.
Oh, tapos imagine mo yun for the side of Zol FE, they were able to get in all the objectives. They were able to starve Smart Omega in the early stages of the game, and yeah, this is probably one of the games that has a lot of good highlights, and this was one of the first place that Zol FE was able to win. Sobrang low na dito ni Not Area. Yan yung Petrify. At sakto rin yung Alecto final blow, and they were able to get in the kills. And I think for the first 15 minutes of the game, it was just Zol FE's game time and time again. And good defense actually from Smart Omega. In all of the Lord takes of Zol FE, they were able to defend. Imagine mo, wala nang inhibitor turrets. They were still able to bounce back from all of that. And Zol FE, honestly, super commendable yung kanilang yung mga engages nila. Yung mga Numenon Blast and yung mga real-world manipulation ni Shin and ni Rain God in this game was just something that Smart Omega really struggled with. But eventually, they were able to pick up. And all the Lords, as you can see, from the first, second, and third, it was all Zol FE's game. This was such a hard game for Not Ayanami, I'd have to say. Nahirapan talaga siya, no? May in ka nga, pero not a lot of outs. Kasi imagine mo, if you're gonna use the penalty zone, mag-flicker in ka pa. So, hindi ka makakatakas after the penalty zone. Wala ka na lang flicker. So, there's just not a lot of mobility here for the side lanes, which is really what made Smart Omega really struggle as well in the early stages of the game. As compared to pag may aggressive type of side lane hero ka, pwede ka talaga pumalag.
Exactly. And I think those are the things na na-utilize talaga, not just in Ayanami, but also Smart Omega. Yung, they see their composition is very much in your face. In the sense na, if they jump in, they need to get a trade. Kasi the struggle of pulling out from that kind of interaction, or at least that kind of fight, is very, very risky. And as you guys can notice, yes, most of the fights po sa Lord Pit talaga nangyayari kasi ang lakas objectives ng teams natin. Tsaka Sunday kasi. So kailangan talaga focus tayo sa Lord.
Actually, focus sa Lord. Pero I think this last one, hindi na nga nila masyado kailangan kumuha ng Lord at this point, no? Tapos na daw sila doon. They just went in for the engage here for the side of Smart Omega. At rekta na nga sila doon sa side ng base ng Zol FE, and a game over actually. Pero yun kasi yung gagawin ng dalawang teams natin right after this. They go straight in for the victory, and I think this is Smart Omega. Ito na yung last one, yung naghatak si Mirai. Ang sakit na rin kasi ng damage dito ni Shinoa. 3 kills instantly, isa-isa na wipe out. At ito yung kinulang yung Smart Omega in the early stages kasi sobrang dami talagang CC nung Zol FE, the Numenon Blast and the Real World Manipulation. Pero yung engage kasi dito ni Not Ayanami, sakto pa sa Divine Judgment ni Mirai. It was enough to take down or catch the members of Zol FE off guard. They didn't even need the Lord at this point. They just went in straight for the base. It was only Ang left to defend. And honestly, for Zol FE, such a good game. 16-22. It was able to stretch out on the 27-minute mark. Actually, going 28 na nga ito eh. Sobrang ganda. And I think commendable lahat ng mga plays dito ni Mirai. Yung Divine Judgment niya sa mga parts na kailangan talaga ng Smart Omega. But of course, Amore as well. Siya talaga yung nag-dictate ng tempo dito. There's a lot that I have to commend. Yung mga nakuha niyang Numenon Blast and Real World Manipulation, it proved to be such a menace for Zol FE. That's why they were able to take in this game. 22 kills as the 16, and it's not easy for teams to hold out this long. Honestly, both sides, I'm so surprised how they're able to sustain this long na talaga, sagot after sagot for both sides.
Iba talaga yung yung mental stability, yung mental capacity in game ng mga players natin dito. But yeah, that was almost 28 minutes. 1 second na lang. 28 minutes na. But another thing I want to touch up on is, aside from the beautiful initiate from Not Ayanami as well as yung follow-up kay Shinoa and kay Keishi, it was a 4v5. Wala dun si Ang. And that's probably why there was a little bit of a advantage for Smart Omega. But of course, Bene is still posing as a threat. Kasi imagine, if siya yung nakapag-draw ng ultimate non before Not Ayanami jumps in with the penalty zone, things could have been different. But yeah, it was a very tight-knit match, very, very close. It really just falls down to all of these crucial points. And if you can remember, one of the choke points din kasi, yung place na yon, the one near the Lord Pit. But yeah, GGWP, Smart Omega being able to win 2-0 in the best of 5. So they are 1 win away from getting the victory. Pero syempre, alam ko na you guys are very much motivated, very much happy to see our ladies fight. We also want to say na we have the code ULS PH. You can use it as much time, once a day for many days as you want, not limited po to in quota. If you use this code, you get a 5% discount pag bumili ka ng UC. It is a one-time use per day per account. Okay? Remember that. Of course, minimum purchase using code 50 pesos, max this 50 pesos as well. Tapos available siya on all payment channels.
Yep, be sure to avail it, guys, and top up. Yung daming events ngayon sa MLBB. Be sure to top up with UniPin with that code that Yuko just gave you guys. And now, once again, we'd like to thank you guys for joining us here in the grand final stage ng Zol FE and Smart Omega Empress. But before we go to our game number 3 or our match point for Smart Omega, let's give our teams the time to rest and the time to recuperate first before we head on to possibly our last match here. So let's give Zol FE and Smart Omega the time to just think of their strategy here in game number 3 as we head over into a short break for us. Don't go away, don't touch that browser. UniPin Ladies Championship will be right back.
Those who stand in my way, die! before the King of the Inferno. Come, Candle Moth! All will die away in ashes, and you are no exception!
New skin ready.
Why, brother? Why must we Paxleys all take the path of magic? Am I such a disgrace to this house, big brother? Finally, I've been expecting you, big brother!
I don't recall giving the orders.
Elders of the house give the order, Your Grace!
But it's not my order.
The elders said it was our only chance. Not even Your Grace could stop us!
I don't need your pretentious favor. We end it all today!
We still have time. Even if we don't, they don't have a say. Has it started? It's time for you to know the truth. If you don't want to die, follow me.
Upgrade your gaming experience with UniPin. Explore more than 100 games in our website. Purchase more than just games like PSN Wallet or games and Steam Wallet. Gain access to a better, faster, and more secure top-up experience. With unlimited access to every entertainment you need. Top up now with UniPin. Visit www.unipin.com.
Upgrade your gaming experience with UniPin. Explore more than thousands of games. Unlock millions of songs on iTunes and Spotify premium features. Gain access to a better, faster, and more secure top-up experience. With unlimited access to every entertainment you need. Fill your life out with UniPin.
Those who stand in my way, die! Bow before the King of the Inferno! Come, Candle Moth! All will die away in ashes, and you are no exception!
New skin ready.
Why, brother? Why must we Paxleys all take the path of magic?
course, we are back from that very quick break again. Smart Omega 2-0. They're the ones that's one win away from getting the championship, from getting that victory up against Zol FE. But Zol FE, again, we have been seeing signs of life for them. Will they be able to play their hearts out, and will they be able to go with the reverse sweep? We're going to be your casters for this unbreakable series. My name is Yuko. Alongside me is Burger Kim.
Once again, we'd like to thank everyone who made this possible. We'd like to thank our media partners, Upstation Media, as well as Gozo Gamers, our live streaming partner, TikTok, and of course, this is presented by UniPin. Thank you so much for giving a platform for all of these ladies to showcase what they got. And of course, speaking of ladies, we got our official code for ULS PH. So be sure to use the code ULS PH, not limited in quota. Use this code to get a 5% discount if you buy UC one-time use per day. So if it's it's the same account. If you want to use the code once again, please wait for the next day. Maximum purchase using the code is 50 pesos and maximum discount is 50 pesos as well. This is available for all payment channels. Now, we're down to our match point here, Yuko. Isa na lang para sa Smart Omega at kitang-kita mo naman sa kanilang mga mukha. They're still on a win streak, by the way, from yesterday's lower bracket matches to get this rematch, this much-awaited rematch na gusto nila up against Zol FE. It was a 2-0 the last time they went up against each other, and as of the moment, it is a 2-0 for Smart Omega. One more win away for them to get the championship here in the UniPin Ladies Championship Philippines. And Zol FE, once again, hindi pa rin nila pinapakawala yung Estes ni Mirai.
Mind-bogglingly close matchup, by the way. And lagi talaga yan. Kahit anong mangyari, blue side, red side, they don't care. First ban pa rin dito si Estes. And of course, as the meta dictates, red team will be forced to ban on 1-1. Smart Omega does that. Eve will be taken out as well. I want to see if kukunin ba ng Zol FE yung Beatrix dito, or we might see another Hayabusa. Maybe basta yung mga very quick-witted assassins na mapupunta dito kay Bene. But blue has been taken out by Smart Omega as well para walang split-split or walang yayakap sa kanila dito.
Oo, actually, hindi pa rin talaga nila-let go tong mga heroes na to. 1-1 and blue, staple bans for Smart Omega, especially if they're on the red side. Hindi ako magtataka kung tatanggalin nila either the Lancelot or the Lane here for their last ban up against Zol FE. Almost most of the time, they've never given Bene a hero that she's really comfortable with. And speaking of really comfortable with, sobrang kilala talaga kasi si Bene with the assassins. And I don't think it's in a match as crucial as this, you wouldn't want to give your opponent the upper hand. Kasi speaking of the upper hand, hindi pa rin talaga ipapakawala yung joy dito for the side of Zol FE. With the global ban being in play, I think the Beatrix is already no longer open for Smart Omega, so which means the Melissa is still open. Carry as well for Shinoa is still open ngayon. First pick ang Zol FE. They still got the Arlot. They still got, I think, the Valentina here na pwede pa rin kunin, which is a safe first choice here for Zol FE. The Faramis rin pala na often overlooked as well from both sides as of the moment.
Yeah, it looks like ang mangyayari dito is Zol FE, they're probably gonna go with a damage dealer first. Usually it's Eve, but now I do agree maybe Farsa, maybe a Valentina, I don't know, maybe even Haibus is our first pick worthy. Sino ba yung mga crazy Kadita? Maybe I'm not sure if they picked that up. But Lancelot, okay. So they saw how crucial it was and how amazingly smooth Smart Omega performed with the Lancelot. -1 agad. So Zol FE decides to pick that up for themselves.
Yep, I actually was predicting this Lancelot. I guess for the case of Smart Omega, still very deadly pa rin naman kasi dito yung blue at saka yung 1-1, so they really prioritize those bans as well. Leaving the Lancelot open here for Bene is something that she's so comfortable with. They still have to deal with this one, and this is something that you rarely see. Esmeralda pick for not Ayanami. I think rin kasi they're also gearing up for the fact na nagubusan talaga ng XP lane heroes kanina, so it's better for them to pick up the heroes that they're comfortable with. And usually yung sinasagot sa Esmeralda is a Dirot. Will we see that from the side of Zol Effie, hard counters for this one. Lalo na in the laning phase, mahirapan talaga itong Esmeralda na to. You're not able to dance really well. But they're gonna go for the Kaja here. A little bit different tempo from the side of Zol Effie. A lot of pickoffs and a lot of damage here. As Smart Omega, as of this point, wala na rin yung mga high ground mages dito for their side. But I talked about comfort picks, and this is one of them for Amore, and I think this is good. At this point, you really need to get all of the heroes that you're comfortable with, especially in a match as crucial as this.
I have to say this, yung 3 picks from Smart Omega in game number 2, yun din ang 3 picks na nakuha ng Zol FE so far in game number 3. It was the 3 arguably the best heroes as well in game number 2 natin. But now let's see, are they gonna be looking for a Terizla as their frontliner, or maybe something a little bit more Zol FE kind of hero? We saw yung Saver yesterday. Let's see if Amor will be showing that same amount of pressure, that same amount of control on this hero. Kasi kahapon, I remember being super impressed by how she handles tight-knit situations. But now, last 2 bans for Smart Omega will be Lonox and Farsop. Tapos sa Zol FE naman, you have the Franco as well as the Natalia.
We still need a Mirai and a Keishi hero. Will we see hard CC from Mirai, or will it still be a utility type of roamer? Open dito yung Franco for Mirai, or the Lolita actually still open here, care of the global ban. So open pa rin naman for the side of Smart Omega since they haven't used this yet in the series. So they can go for that. Great answer to the Beatrix. Nakita mo rin naman kanina. Pero Keishi, going for that mid-sitar, something that we've seen and pretty much the same effect as the Franco. Now, looking at Zol FE, kailangan pa rin nila ng mid laner here. Ang dami na natanggal sa kanilang side. Is the Valentina already out for the side of Zol FE? If not, they might actually choose to pick this one up.
Valentina is definitely up for grabs to Zol FE if they want to. And that just pretty much shows na if ever 4 out of 5 heroes ang makuha nila from Smart Omega's draft. But they lock in the Harley. That's interesting. Napakakulit na hero dito. And the cards really hurt a lot. I guess ang ni-imagine nila dito is if papasok yung Smart Omega, you have Harley as the one dealing damage in front of them. Tapos meron kang Lancelot sa side. Tapos meron tayong Beatrix sa far end ng team fight. But for now, Smart Omega, they're hovering that Minotaur as their possible last pick.
Wow, this was the same combo that they did yesterday up against MHRLK G-Unit. Pretty much the same lineup that they've had. And to add this Minotaur to their lineup, hard CC rin ito. May case calling ka na nga, meron ka pang Minowan's Rage. But I talked about the Lolita. Maganda kasi ito up against the Beatrix, mabablock mo yung projectiles na ibabato ng Beatrix. Although you can't really evade the deadly magic from the Harley, it's gonna be a problem though, yung Harley dito for the Savior as well as the Melissa, kasi tatagos talaga yung damage. But yeah, Smart Omega is gonna go for that Lolita for this last and final pick, and now we see their the team actually giving their high fives up against each other, and this is gonna be the last game for Smart Omega to actually win in the championship. And if ever, this will be actually a clean sweep if ever they do win this one. And as for Zol FE, they still need to win this one to at least force out a game number 4.
Exactly. Para lang patagal dito ang ating series. But okay, I know Smart Omega has the momentum right now, but if you were to cover the names, I think I'd like yung draft ng Zol FE a little bit more. It's just, it demands power, it demands respect, whereas sa Smart Omega, it's a little bit more safety for them. But again, I really want to see how this Esmeralda will make things happen into our Land of Dawn. Plus, meron tayong Jujutsu Kaisen buff. Meron silang skin. Tapos nakita ko si Gojo. Happy na ako doon.
Actually, you know what? I want to point that out, Yuko. Salamat sa pagka-point out ng nasa same team pala yung Melissa at yung Savior. Not only do they have the same Jujutsu Kaisen skins, they actually have a special buff. Kasi yung Yin, yung Savior, Melissa, and who's the other? from Forsaken Light? Julian, there. Kung at least two of them are in the same team, they have this special buff wherein mas tataas yung damage mo, yung max HP mo. So, not only do you get like matching skins, you also get the special buff for the Forsaken Light members. And yeah, just a fun fact for those of you guys who don't know. If you guys want to try this out in the rank games, yeah, it's much possible. Totoo po yung sinasabi ko. Check mo na lang mamaya kung nakita nyo yun. Pero wow, okay. Kalahati na yung buhay doon ni Ang. Right after that, ang daming shields pala yung nakakain ng Esmeralda dito for the Fred and Sang easy over on the side lanes. And as you can see, ang daming mga pokes na ginagawa dito ng Smart Omega. They have a lot more poking capabilities. As for Zol FE, once again, they have this dive assassination type of composition. But I have to point out as well, aside from Amore, aside from Shinoa getting their comfort picks, you get Bene once again on a signature pick that she has. She's actually quite well known with the Lancelot. So tingnan natin kung magkakaroon ito ng impact for Zol FE to force out game number 4.
I'd like to think na yes. Kasi time and time again, us cast we talk about na may magic talaga. If a team or if a player gets their comfort pick, like they can play kahit nakapikit, that kind of stuff. And Bene is one of the most consistent players I've seen all throughout the tournament. Like the amount of wits this girl has in game is crazy. So now she has Lancelot. Not only is one of the most contested heroes in the meta, but she also has a Fredrim to be at the front line. Meron din siyang Kaja on the Shin para lang makapag-divine judgment should they want to target anyone or anything. I feel like it's gonna be a very, very good match for Bene if left unchecked siya.
Ayan na, may level 4 power spike na rin for Mirai. There is the possible Numenon Blast. It's because there's Flicker. Catches in 3. And it's gonna be Rain God. The first one to fall here. As Bene as well, really low on this one. This is gonna force Smart Omega to actually have a better positioning here as they start up this Lord. Great start for the Empresses.
Honestly, the only thing I could say about that is Lolita, Mirai, she got 3. That's it. That's the reason why they were able to get them first blood. Plus, the fact that Keishi was able to get a turtle. Smart Omega back in the element, being crazy, just going all out in the early game.
As you can see, both sides actually, you got the player cams on as well. All of them focused on this last and final match of Smart Omega, if ever. And there's the tug onto Mirai. She's able to sustain care of the shields. And there's Amore as well with the Dawning Light to force the members of Zol FE to back away. And checking our side lane matchup, actually this is pretty good for both sides, for Smart Omega. Because you got the Esmeralda of Notayanami eating up the shields here of Ang. So it's not really gonna be easy for the Fredrin to be able to move around. At kung mapapansin mo, nako-contain talaga ni Notayanami dito si Ang sa kanyang lane. Habang sa bottom side naman, there's that advantage of the Melissa having a lot more range compared to the Beatrix that does have a lot of tools sa kit niya. Pero iba pa rin talaga yung range ng isang Melissa. But Notayanami, a little bit too deep in there, cutting in the lanes. At alam yan ng Zol FE na mas may advantage talaga yung Esmeralda dito. But there might actually be a counter-engage here on the bottom side. We see that Shinoa actually chunking in a lot of gold plating there. Hindi pa rin yung makukuha yung tower, but that's gonna be actually a good trade for Zol FE on the top side.
A good trade is a good trade that nonetheless they were able to get the kill on Not Ayanami, which gaya nga sabi mo, Esmeralda, she just takes up so much shields, you know? So that is a problem for Zol FE. One of the ways is actually keep their eyes on Not Ayanami, as well as, you know, make sure Mirai is kept checked. And with that, nila pagganaan ng Deadly Magic connecting onto that Divine Judgment. That's gonna be the kill going over to Zol FE. And as I say that, Bene on the top lane, mukhang medyo napalalim siya. Kinda got so much damage, but still, buhay pa rin naman siya.
Ito yung nakakatakot sa Harley, no? Tapos may Divine Judgment ka pa pala. So sure na tumatagos na rin yung magic damage. And as you can see, giving that leverage to Ang there on the top side is really doing the difference. This is the thing that they did as well in game number 2, wherein iniipit nila si Not Ayanami to actually force one member of Smart Omega to actually rotate more on the top side or actually to get their lanes contained. And here comes the second turtle of the game. We see Bene as well dashing in and out. There is no contest at all from Smart Omega. there is going to be the second turtle of the game going to the side of Zol FE.
That's going to be the pull actually connecting onto one. That's going to be suppressed, being very, very crucial for Zol FE, but apparently they were not able to finish off the kill. Mirai is still A-okay. Was forced to use the flicker though, but ang mahalaga dito, kompleto pa rin ang Smart Omega. Right now, we have 3 and 1 on the board, roughly 6 minutes into the game, but the gold lead, 2K gold lead, is actually visible sa side ng Zol FE.
And here's the thing too about Zol FE, a lot of pressure on the XP at kung mapapansin mo, hindi masyado nakakapasok rin. And here comes Shin as well. Yung una na tina-target dito, it doesn't matter if it's is Mirai, as long as they can get it. And speaking of Shin, a little bit too deep in there, hindi na ginamit yung flicker. May Dawning Light at may King's Calling din dito from Keishi to be able to force them to back away. As now Smart Omega, they're creating a lot of pressure. If Zol FE is creating a lot of pressure on the top side, sila naman dito sa gold lane na talagang kailangan na kailangan. There's a Deadly Magic onto Keishi as Shinoa will be focusing her target on that tower as they get it. So it's a 1-4-1 as Smart Omega gets in their first tower. Shinoa forced to use that go away, the ultimate of the Melissa. There's the Dawning Light from Amore as well. At mapapaatras na rin yung Zol FE, but the pressure is still on. Apat pa rin ang Zol FE dito sa bottom side.
Literal na nag-go away yung Zol FE doon, but they still have their eyes set on the turret. Walang aalis dito. With that, the turret is gonna be falling down. Will there be a trade? Wala ata kasi naubusan din ng minion si Not Ayanami doon sa taas. And on top of that, well, Bede is on her way sa top lane, so might as well not force that fight. Yeah. So far, Zol FE slowly but surely definitely securing the lead they have right now. And Smart Omega, ang napapansin ko, magkakasama sila. Like, not like 5 in the same area, but they are within the range of each other. Like, imagine, pwede mag-dash in si Mirai, pwede namang lumapit si Melissa anytime soon dito. They really want to make sure na they are in each other's approximate location. But what they aren't able to see, what they aren't able to respond to, is yung turtle take dito ni Bene.
Yo, I just want to point out that this is a damaged Lancelot from Bene. Actually, this is quite refreshing to see too, because most of the time you see the Lancelot being a tank-salot in the current meta. It's very effective, right? And this just goes to show what type of player Bene is, all aggressive. Malefic Roar and the War Axe are still pretty much building towards the tankiness. And Smart Omega at this point, yung inuuna talaga nila dito si Mirai para hindi siya maka-set up dito. Ang sakit na rin dito ni Taro. Keishi gonna use in that King's Calling. Shit, the first one to fall. And here comes Aang joining in the party. Unable to pop the Appraiser's Wrath. Able to dash away as Bene picks up a double kill. Gonna get taken down. There's the shutdown by Amore. Right in the nick of time. And that's still gonna be a good answer from Smart Omega. But Zol FE is still sobrang aggressive nila ngayon. But 5-4 ang ating kills. 8 minutes in. And still Zol FE with the kill score lead as well as the tower take lead.
They get what they can because of course they want to be able to limit yung power and yung galaw ng Smart Omega dito. Another Divine Judgment being committed, but Amor for some reason just cannot die. Ginamitan na nga din dito ng Deadly Magic, the Rain God, but that's not deadly enough for this lovely saber. So for now, Zol FE, they will be looking for the next target. And as I say that, Keishi at the very least nakuha na din yung buff dito. Smart Omega, they're now prepping for the next possible big team fight. Kasi the Lord will be up in 12 seconds. Yeah, Lord Cam will be up here. I'm gonna be we now are gonna be waiting for Smart Omega na mag-draw ng next blood dito. Medyo intense. So, Burger Kim, ano ang inihintay mo dito?
Yung Numenon Blast dito ngayon ni Mirai, pero mukhang si Shin nauna naman dito sa Divine Judgment. There's the Dawning Light. Ang sakit na rin ni Keishi, but here comes Aang to shut down Keishi right before the Lord. Not Ayanami as well. There's the Numenon Blast from Mirai. Wala siya mahuli, pero ito yung Lord. Para-retry pa rin ni Bene, but they're really low. They have to back away from this one. It's a 2-4-1 trade in favor still of Zol FE.
Exactly. Damage is definitely gonna be there. and at the very least, they know how to think in their feet. But, ang mangyayari naman, Smart Omega, even though that was a little bit of a struggle to fight, they were able to get one outer mid lane turret. They wanted to get number 2, kaso nalapitan sila ng Zol FE dito. Tapos ngayon, mukhang nilalapitan sila kay Yanami, possible 2v1, and you have Bene with the Bermuda Triangle, and napakaganda naman na flame shot nun coming in from Rain God, all according to plan, calculated.
Wow, okay. I only noticed this flame shot as of the moment because usually you'd use like a flicker or maybe even an execute. But wow, that flame shot right on cue. Actually, I think kaya pala hindi na nila pinersa yung team fight kasi sabi dito ni Rain God, okay lang, may flame shot ako dito to pick off Nota Yanami, and so far, she has the most deaths here. And it really does explain why. Kasi ang daming pressure na ginagawa ng Zol FE sa kanyang lane. Most of the time, she's actually being pressured by 2 or 3 members here on Zol FE. Either all the ultimates are being thrown at her, and even if you're an Esmeralda, there's only so much you can take. And now, Smart Omega, once again, they're gonna have to defend up against this one. Second tier towers are all gone here as Zol FE. They have to push forward here. And looking at the composition dito, Smart Omega, they have a lot of late game heroes. They got the Savior and the Melissa. These are all heroes that can definitely do the plays. Now, speaking of plays, Mirai will be using that Luminous Blast, but to no avail, as they're gonna have to back away from that one because all the inhibitors are up once again. 70 seconds bago ang susunod na Lord natin. Luminous Lord na ito, by the way, na pwede kunin ulit ng Zol FE to pressure the inhibitors here of Smart Omega.
Exactly. Ito na yun eh. Every time, pag Luminous Lord talaga, the tides just change so much in favor of, I'm not sure, but it looks like Zol FE, they definitely want to get that advantage. And as I say that, there is going to be a focus dito sa buff ng Smart Omega. They were able to get that non-contested. That's going to be a little bit more difficult for Smart Omega, but hey, that's the plan for Zol FE. Ngayon, 35 seconds before the next Lord will be up. Mas makunat, mas masakit na yan. And I have to highlight this. Yung mid lane and bottom lane ng dalawang teams natin, they don't really have outer turrets ngayon except dun sa bot lane ng Zol FE na meron pa silang one outer bottom lane turret. Other than that, it's very much vulnerable if the Lord will actually make his way into that lane. For now, magkakasama sila, Zol FE and Smart Omega with Bene just shoving the waves into the side. Items as well, malapit na mag-lock dito si Melissa on this, Shinoa on this Melissa. Lord is now up and there's going to be vision going over to Zol FE. Now, let's see if Ang will be able to make something happen. Naghihintay ako na isang magandang ultimate honesty from Esmeralda. Isang magandang falling star moon lang, it could be very, very crucial for Smart Omega.
Hindi lang actually yung falling star moon, pati na rin si Mirai dito. At kung mapapansin mo, kahit si Mirai yung inuuna dito ni Shin, it's fine. As long as hindi makaset dito si Mirai, that should be good for them. I have to point out that Bene is on Savage Lancelot. There's absolutely no defensive item. I think nag-Legion Sword pa nga siya dito sa kanyang last item. And look at how fast she's chunking down the Lord. Hindi na nga makapasok dito yung Smart Omega. They're gonna give it, and that's gonna be the first Luminous Lord sa side ng Zol FE. I'm actually waiting for the... Oh, okay. Actually, I thought they were gonna try to get in some towers there. Pero sabi ng Smart Omega, sige, mag-def muna tayo dito. It's fine. Let's give the opportunity for Zol FE to go all the way in. We're waiting for that Falling Star Moon. We're waiting for that Luminous Blast dito. Isang magandang set lang dito from the side of Smart Omega can turn the tides for their side. 7-6 ang ating score. 14 minutes in as the Lord is now marching in on the mid lane of Smart Omega.
They are really marching in. Sinasabayan pa dito yung Lord natin. Bene getting another damage item, but that is gonna be their focus onto that tower. Baka mawala din dito. That is gonna be Smart Omega actually responding very, very quickly. Shin gets bursted down. You have on like being actually shot by the Saber. Towers are falling down. So far, it is a 1-to-1 in favor of no one, but I'd say Shin got taken down, Keishi got taken down. It is a victory for Smart Omega kasi they got Shin. That is a Kaiju na kayang-kayang mag-1, mag-pick off ng isa agad for you. Death timer is kinda high as well, but Smart Omega, their base gets to live another day. Zol FE, yes, kulang sila ng isa, but hey, it's 4-4. Let's see what is gonna happen. They really wanna get that turret. That's gonna be bullets being rained down on them by this Beatrix. You know what? Actually, they're safe at the back line. You also have Bene, parang gumugusto pang mag-isa. But then, he is a damage-only Lancelot. He can go with the 1v1, but 1v2, 1v3, baka mahirapan siya kasi wala siyang masyadong defensive items. And another rose gold meter. More damage, more threat talaga from this Lancelot.
Oh, tsaka actually, Bene actually went for that Rose Gold Meteor. Ang daming magic damage na rin. Respeto rin dito si Amore. And kung mapapansin mo yung damage dealers dito ng Smart Omega, they haven't suffered any casualties as of the moment. So, that is still good for the Empresses. But as for Zol FE, we have to check as well their damage dealers. Taro, still not getting taken down here by Smart Omega. And that's just proving to be a problem. Mahirap rin kasi dito yung deadly magic ni Rain God that is just piercing through the members of Smart Omega. Like, one deadly magic, wala pang magic defense dito yung si Shinoa or si Amore. I'm not so sure if they've gotten the Rose Gold Meteor, or maybe if Amore has the Winter Truncheon, which is usually the counter to the deadly magic of the Hardy. But at this point, right, once again, Smart Omega, they're on their toes once again, defensive. Kasi ngayon, double-edged sword kasi itong damage Lancelot. Ang ganda, lalo na pag nakapwesto dito si Bene. Pero again, like what you mentioned, not so much defense. So kung mahuli siya dito, either ng Dawning Light or maipit siya sa gitna ng clash dito, almost sure na mapipita siya, not unless there's still the dash away. But still, Zol FE in control as of the moment. And it seems like Smart Omega, they're gonna be chunking down this Lord. Papasok na rin dito si Ang. So, either it's a bait Lord by Smart Omega to set up the place. Nakikita mo rin si Mirai nandito sa bush. Nag-aabang na pwede niyang manumin on blast. Pero mukhang alam rin yata yun ng Zol FE. Just giving the right vision towards the side of Smart Omega.
Just nabiho pa natin on to one. Yep. Now that's Nabi, the only light being popped as well. Naku po, you have very safe at the back line. Mount tayo Ring of Order dito. Smart Omega, medyo back away, but ayun na naman.
Ayun na yung Falling Star
There's gonna be one being shot down as Nabi, the Falling Star one as well. Everyone falling down. Kiddies be going over to Saber. Napakaganda. Ito yung sinasabi ko. Ito yung hinihintay natin. That Falling Star Moon from Not Ayanami is what's up, okay? They get 3 in trade for 1, in trade of Keshi. They're very much happy for that. And here is the instant replay. Burger Kim, ano bang nangyari dito?
Yeah, here's the thing. They were focusing their fire onto Keishi. I think at this point, sobrang galing kasi talaga ng Smart Omega when it comes to the team fights. Lalo na sa mga Lord Pit. At saktong-sakto yung Falling Star Moon doon ni Not Ayanami gets into. They were able to shut down Rain God. Plus, nakakuha pa sila ng 2 pick-offs. Yung pinaka-importante doon is safe. Si Shinoa at si Amore. And they were able to kite in the members of Zol FE. Tatlo yung nawala doon. At nakakuha pa sila ng Lord. Kasi nawala nga. Actually, I think if Bene was alive at that point, magiging iba yung takbo. Siguro hindi yun itutuloy ng Smart Omega. But once again, Smart Omega, they're just proving to us that they're just so good at team fights when it comes to objectives, lalo na sa Lord Pit. Sobrang galing nila mag-decision making, and Zol FE is always caught off guard. But as of the moment, right, the gold is already even for both sides, and this is the call for Smart Omega to actually push the side lanes, create a lot of pressure up against Zol FE. And kailangan rin nila maging disiplina ngayon kasi we have to respect the damage as well na binabato ng Zol FE. Care of Bene, care of Rain God and Taro at this point. So 10 kills already for Smart Omega. They are on a 2k gold lead and they're looking to push their inhibitors as of the moment here. There's the Dawning Light. At ang sakit na nito, yung makakahuli lang talaga either the Divine Judgment or si Bene as of the moment. Butas na ngayon yung middle lane ng Zol FE, but they're also able to melt down this Lord. But that's enough pressure for the side of Zol FE as Smart Omega once again will be trying their best to get in all the inhibitors or even maybe the resources here of Zol FE.
And basically, yung gusto naman mangyari ng Smart Omega dito is talaga makapaglagilan ng butas sa base ng Zol FE. Like, they got that, okay, we don't really want to overstay our welcome, so excuse us. And then they casually grab any other resource na madaanan nila. So now, it's go time again for Smart Omega. They are just hiding sa bush dito near the pit, but I don't think they're gonna be fighting anytime soon given the fact na si Nat Ayanami kasi malayo. So like, let the lady get her buff bago tayo lumaban. But of course, Zol FE, if they knew na hindi kompleto, I think they would have pulled the trigger just because isang falling star man agad na mamawala eh. That would be the ultimate being popped by Amor again as Midasang connecting onto one. Kaso ayun na, nahila pa ata siya dito. Now Bene is down! I repeat, Lancelot, Bene is down for almost 1 minute and Zol FE, they know how crucial that is. They back away.
Okay, I think for Smart Omega at this point, not Ayanami and Mirai should be more than willing to dive in. They got all of the defensive items, the blade armor as well as the radiant armor, so hindi na matatakot itong dala. Kasi nung unang parts of the game, medyo nag-aalangan pa sila ngayon kasi they really can't counter out the damage na binabato ng Zol FE. And as of the moment, this is big! Fede is down for 20 seconds like what you mentioned. At numbers advantage ito para sa Smart Omega to get in this Lord. But of course, nandito rin si Shin giving in the vision para sa side ng Zol FE. At yung mga ibang members dito ng Zol FE, ibang plano na yata, no? They can actually split push here. But I'm pretty sure not Ayanami can take on two here as the members of Zol FE are forced to back away. Ang baba na yan ni Shin as Smart Omega once again only able to take in the Lord with the traction pa nga doon. Sinatayama may flame shot to seal the deal as Tamuro, they're gonna lock in the base and it's a backdoor play from Zol FE taking in the victory and stopping in that sweep from Smart Omega.
Yo! That was amazing. Okay, actually amazing is understatement. That was every single good adjective you could think of in dictionary. But ang ganda nung like quick-witted plays from Zolnon and you are right. They basically did stop yung momentum and yung possible 3-0 coming up from Smart Omega. Because honestly, the fact that they were able to get Lord, the fact that Shinoa was able to get Lord, that actually say something. You know, they could have finished the game if they wanted to. But syempre yung Zol, parang sabi nila, wait, since may minion wave, tapos wala namang turrets, why not try to mag-backdoor? And that worked. And even if they did try to defend yung base, it was a little bit too late. 2v1 na may minions pa. It was definitely just Zol FE being able to lock into base. And because of that, we will be seeing a game number 4.
Of course, what's a grand finals without a game number 4 as Zol FE will be stopping Smart Omega from getting in that clean sweep. And honestly, I think that's the best thing that they can do. Kasi imagine mo yun, Yuko, para sabi dito ngayon ng Zol FE, ang galing nyo pala sa mga team fight when it comes to the Lord. O wag na lang tayo mag-team fight, rekta na lang tayo sa base ng Smart Omega. And that completely caught them off guard. Even though with not Ayanami, they're trying to sustain the lane. Dalawa kasi yung nandoon. It was Rain God and Taro Taro, the two heroes that have the most damage. At kahit may defensive items na dito ngayon si Not Ayanami, it was still not enough to stop the onslaught dito ng Zol FE, and it's just enough to take in the base. Ang sakit na rin doon kasi kompleto na rin yung items ni Taro, and that's really what they needed to do. And possibly one of the best games I've seen here in UniPin Ladies Championship.
Of course, kailangan talaga one of the best games is seen sa Grand Finals. I cannot say this enough. Napakaganda ng matchup natin dito. Just when I thought that Smart Omega has this in the bag, Zol FE, they pull off something crazy, but was it worth it? Hell yeah, it was definitely worth it. And again, yung mga highlights dito, it's like 7 out of 10 mga laban sa mga Lord, tapos like 3 out of 10 yun yung mga like pickups or like other lanes and etc. Kasi the area for the Lord, and obviously they want to get the Lord, is very small compared to like long lanes, and it just works for all their combos and their skills and all that. See, again, another Lord highlight. But ito, I believe, yung biglang may na-pull off na play, yung Smart Omega, I think this was it. Yung magandang falling star moon from Not Ayanami, they really were able to just get Zol FE at the right moment. And Zol FE, as we've mentioned, sila nga po ang reason bakit na lower bracket run ang Smart Omega. Now, they're showing us na that wasn't just a good day. That wasn't just a good play. we are actually a very formidable opponents against Smart Omega.
Definitely, right? I mean, you're able to pull off a 2-0 in the playoffs up against Smart Omega. That's definitely not a feat. At ito na yung final fight, hindi na rin talaga kinaya ng Smart Omega. Even though with Mirai, they're trying to stop Taro. Ang dami rin kasing minions doon. It completely caught the Empresses off guard. Let's take a look at this. 21 minutes in, and it's gonna be Taro, the MVP of the game, locking in the tower. And I think ito rin, check out her items, all of the items that you need to actually take down the base. And for Zol FE, they really didn't need to force out the Lord fight. It was more of a bait that they did in the final moments. And Smart Omega, they were also completely caught off guard. They were prepared for the Lord fight, but for Zol FE, eyes on the prize, straight for the base. And with that, we're gonna be going on to game number 4 here.
Exactly. And the stakes just keep on getting higher. The games just keep on getting exciting. 10-11, by the way. Tapos 21-21. That was very, very close match. And it ended only because Zol FE decided to go with that backdoor play. Should they have not called that play, it is definitely going to be a Smart Omega game. And of course, we're going to be hopping into the pick and ban phase in a few more seconds. For now, again, we are your casters. I'm Yugto alongside Miss Burger Kim. This is Zol FE versus Smart Omega for the Grand Finals, the best of 5 for UniPin ladies. Thank you so much to our sponsors, our media partners, and this is again presented by UniPin because without you guys, hindi po posible ang tournament na to.
Right, our 2 representatives for the USC 2023 proving to us kung bakit nila deserve yung spot the USC 2023, and you'll see more of them of course in the USC this year, so stay tuned for that. But of course, once again, we'd like to thank everyone who made this tournament possible, and like to remind you guys as well of the code that we have for this ULS Philippines. So we got the code ULS PH, not limited in quota. Use this code to get a 5% discount if you buy US. So UC rather. One time use per day. So it's the same account. If you guys want to use the code, wait for the next day again. So one code lang siya per day. Maximum purchase of the code is 50 pesos and maximum discount is 50 pesos as well. This is available for all payment channels. So be sure to avail of this promo while this is up for the Philippines, while it's up for this last day. Once again, thank you to UniPin, all of our sponsors, for making this possible. We're going to game number 4 here for Zol FE and Smart Omega Empress. At tingnan natin kung mai-equalize nga ba ng Zol FE itong laban na ito, itong best out of 5. So if they get in another game, that's gonna be 2-2. But if Smart Omega wins this one, they're still on a match point, by the way. So one more win away to get that championship up against Zol FE.
Alam mo, gusto kong, I try to imagine myself in situations like these, na what if yung team ko nakapag 2-0 and then naging 2-1 and then 2-2. It's very stressful mentally. So Smart Omega, I know since game number 1, since yesterday, they were up on their A game. Kailangan A game na talaga ngayon kasi they really need to close out and stop the possible momentum na lalabas from Zol FE dito, because you guys saw it, how happy they were after that game number 3. It looks like they want more, like they're very much into seeing and pulling off those crazy plays.
And of course, with this game going on to game number 4, there's a lot of possibilities. And with the global ban being put into play, you hear Yuko, ang dami ng naitanggal, especially for meta picks. So we might actually see some off meta picks here for both teams, since nawala na rin yung mga high ground mages, mostly used by both teams already. So this is gonna get interesting. Not only do we see like a best out of 5, we see the hero pool also going smaller. So ito talaga yung sobrang exciting pag nandito yung global ban. There's a lot more possibilities, a lot more possible combos that you can do. And here Smart Omega is still not shaken from that loss. They still one more win away, and of course they're still talking about what they want to happen, as the side of Zol FE are still in high spirits at the moment, getting in that one win, stopping that sweep. And speaking of, Smart Omega this time will be on the blue side. Sila may prayo pick ngayon. Pinerespeto pa rin talaga ang link dito ni Bene, hindi pa rin talaga pinapakawala. Estes is still up. I'm not so sure if Zol FE will be banning that away kasi nakita niyo naman kahapon, pinaprayo ng Smart Omega itong Estes na ito.
Ayan. Hindi na, okay. It's time. I mean, it's also the fact that, well, ano na eh,
Team is banned.
it's like game number 4, might as well get that Estes when you can. Okay, I stand corrected. Binan na po siya ng Zol FE halfway through my sentence. Still not gonna be an Estes in game number 4. But yeah, you mentioned this kanina, the more games we see, the smaller the hero pool will be. Kasi they can only choose specific heroes once. After that, it's on to the next, you know. Let's see kung sino pa ba ang kayang ilabas ng mga babae natin dito for the Grand Finals.
Wow, nagtatanggal na rin sila dito ng side lanes. Ang daming side lanes na iniipit dito, especially for Ang. So that is going to be the glue still. Hindi pa rin pinapakawala ng Smart Omega. Repeat ban from their side. But looking at the way things are going, no high ground mages. Speaking of high ground, wala na rin dito yung savior ni Amore. So we might actually see some of, maybe like a Lilia, heroes that have fast clear. Perhaps nga, gumamit rin siya ng mga ibang off-meta picks here for Amore since all of these favorite high ground mages are out. Hindi pa rin talaga ipapakawala yung Eve dito. So good for team fights. And speaking of team fights, sobrang galing talaga ng Smart Omega sa mga team fights. So Zol FE really has to not force out team fights, perhaps have a different type of strategy going into this game. Prio pick ngayon ng Smart Omega. Arlot, Joy is still open here. Global ban. Kita niyo naman yung mga natanggal doon. And that's gonna be the Arlot picked up here by the side of Smart Omega. And they're pretty much very comfortable with this.
They are. And well, Arlot himself is a strong hero. And something na Smart Omega would want. Uy! VC, a Brody, as well as a Julian na nalock in dito ng Zol FE. Alam mo, tama ka. Game 4 na to, it's they really need to pull out the other heroes they've been using. Doesn't matter kung in or out meta. They just need to get heroes that they're comfortable with and can still make it work for them. Carry being picked up ngayon by Smart Omega, and maybe they need a frontliner para lang makasigurado, or you know, just get another damage dealer for the heck of it.
I'm thinking for Keishi here, hindi pa rin I don't think Smart Omega has picked up the Fredrin for Keishi. The Martes has already been picked up in the first game, and but since it's the best out of 5, I think you can pick it up twice, especially since we're already on game 4. But wow, Smart Omega, Mirai going back to her roots, picking up that Franco this time, and this is quite deadly, especially she's so comfortable with this hero. I think she can definitely make the plays. Pero Zol FE, speaking of comfortable, they're also very comfortable with these two heroes. Let's see what Shin will pick up. The Lolita is out, the Kaja is out as well in this game. So will we see another center tank for Shin? They're gonna prioritize high ground here for their side, and now final 2 bans for both sides. I think masasenter to towards Amore and perhaps Keishi since sila pa yung dalawang walang heroes. I'm thinking Lilia or Fredrin here will be taken out for Keishi since hindi pa ito nagamit ng Smart Omega.
Honestly, Fredrin. Lilia, sure, she's a threat. Pero iba kasi ang kayang gawin ng Fredrin literally at the front line. Especially with the fact na you have a Julian, you have a Farsa. But hey, they took out this Faramis. Wala muna tayong fault alter. Wala tayong no respawn time. Wala muna tayong like humihila sa Land of Dawn.
Nakakatakot rin kasi itong Julian na ito. Speaking of center tanks, that is gonna be Smart Omega banning away another option here for Shin to take. Meron pa rin naman yung Kufra dito if they want to go for that hard CC. But the Julian, like what I mentioned, sobrang hirap nitong hero na to, lalo na pag nag-snowball dito si Bene. It's gonna be hard to stop this one. But fortunately enough for Smart Omega, they got some tools here to work around with the lineup here as Zol FE. Yung maganda lang talaga dito so far for Zol FE is they got the high ground, they got the backline, and they got a hero to dive here. Kaya the Julian. So Zol FE so far in their draft, they're really banning away the heroes of Amore and actually Keishi. Nagtatanggal lang sila ng mga heroes na pwede pick off rin ng backline, the Hayabusa na hindi pa rin nagamit ni Keishi. We'll actually see an assassin here for Keishi here in this last game. or maybe even like fighter type of junglers na pwede niyang ilabas rin dito. Kasi so far, more of utility talaga yung nilalabas ni Keishi.
Shot in the dark, alam ko hindi talaga pipick up. But whenever I hear the word assassin, Karina talaga naisip ko. She was in the meta for a while, but I don't think Smart Omega will pick that up. But someone similar probably to Hayabusa, you may escape mechanic, you know, just to make sure na if Keishi does jump in, she will not struggle. Lapu-Lapu will be the last ban for Smart Omega dito, and now let's see sino ang magiging fourth hero ng Zol FE. They're taking their time, so they really wanna discuss and run it through kung sino ba ang mga magandang ipasok sa lineup nila.
Ngayon, kailangan pa rin nila ng side dito for Ang. Joy is still open. Wait, they've used it in the first game. So yeah, if you're talking about the meta, the Joy, Terizla, pwede rin naman gamitin dito ni Ang. We also have the Mincetar that they can actually still picked up, which was used by Smart Omega in their side lane. But I talked about the Kufa earlier. They love going for the hard CC at ayan na nga. Magiging mahirap din ito for Shinoa and not Ayanami, especially the dashes. Wow! Okay, I completely forgot about the Novaria. This is over ko. Ang ganda! The vision, ang ganda ng AoE. And this is the first time I'm gonna be seeing it actually in professional play. And hopefully this will work wonders for Smart Omega to hopefully season this UniPin Ladies Championship. Pero syempre, kailangan muna nila daanan itong Zol FE. Wala pa silang sideline ngayon. Ano kaya yung pwede dito for Am?
Yeah, let's see who... Oh, Edith. May hover tayo dito. Probably gonna be locked in as well because it looks like they're prepping. And yeah, they locked that in. This could be the possible last game for the best of 5. But I love it. Okay? Sa mga draft na nakita ko, game 1, 2, and 3, ito yung pinaka-interesting for me kasi it's a mix and match of I like this hero, I'm comfortable with him or her, and then there's also this slight flavor of dahil may global ban nga, let's try to incorporate this hero into our lineup. And ayun nga, I actually want to echo your thoughts na, right, there is still a Novaria na time and time again, hindi nga pala napapansin kanina.
Oh, alam mo yung mga bagong heroes kasi Yuko, they need the time to adjust with the meta. I think for the Fredrin too, I think this is the same can be said with the Fredrin. It took quite some time before he was able to actually be able to adapt in the meta kasi napakatagal parang binoff yung Fredrin up until nakapasok na rin siya sa meta. It took some time, even the Arlot as well. Parang kailangan talaga ng isang period na maka-adjust yung mga players with the playstyle of this hero. And let's see if Amore will be able to use this hero to its fullest potential. Lalo na nabanggit natin, Smart Omega is just so good in those team fights sa Lord Pit. Ang ganda nitong Novaria na to give vision for the side of Smart Omega and something that they lacked in the first few games. But also Zol FE, this is pretty scary for them. They have a lot of dives, okay? They got the Kufra and the Edith, which I personally think is one of the most underrated XP laners. And let's head over into game number 4. This is Smart Omega Empress versus Zol FE. For game number 4, it's still a match point for the Empresses as Zol FE is able to force out this game number 4 to extend their tournament life.
Now let's see kung kaya ba nilang i-push to a full 5-game series ang Grandfinals na to, or will that backdoor be the last backdoor they'll be doing into the Land of Dawn? Again, I'm honestly so curious to see how Amor will perform in this Novaria because it's vaguely similar to a Savior because of the range, you know, the vision you can get. It's just that Novaria is a lot more scary damage-wise. Gets spotted out by Rain God. There's Nabishin as well. But Triggered Discipline, Amor did not flicker out. She knows na, hey, you're just level 2. At most, you can give me like 3 or 2 skills lang.
And for Novaria, I think I'd really love to see more of her. Astral Echo niya, this is going to provide so much utility for the side of Smart Omega. Yung Astral Meteor and Astral Recall as well, the first 2 skills of Novaria. A lot of people always have been arguing na di ganun kalakas yung damage, but I beg to differ though. It's just more of, I think yung kit talaga ng Novaria is to provide that type of utility para sa kanilang side. Ang dami mga flickers na ginamit doon kay Ang. At ayun, ito na nga yung backup. There might be Bennett diving into Keishi here. And there's gonna be the onwards as well from Ang. They're super safe.
Naalala ko yung sabi mo kanina, yung ang daming ng flicker. That's true. They burned a lot of flicker sa interaction na yon. And Turtle just went up. So now Zol FE, si Ang does not have any flicker on this speed. And okay, vision given again for the side of Smart Omega dito, but Zol FE looks like they will have the odds of getting the objective. That's going to be a jump in onto one. First blood does go over to Zol FE. Smart Omega, meron pa naman sagot sila dito. That is going to be the knock-up to suppress everything else. Amor gets still onto one. Pero grabe, wait, and damage magkakasama ang Smart Omega dito. Ang, however, was able to get away, but at the end of that fight, it will be a 1-1. Again, Turtle, na-secure, I believe, ng Smart Omega dito. Care to check?
Yeah, it's Smart Omega. Actually, Keishi was able to get that turtle with the retribution on. Yung magandang naging trade doon ng Zol FE, that was a solo kill by Taro on the top side. Onto Shinoa. And this is what you get. Brody as well. Another underrated hero na hindi natin ganun nakikita sa gold lane. Usually, it's always picked up if the other heroes are already out. So Brody has a lot of good range, has enough kit as well to protect itself, and with the carry that still needs that time. Kung mapapansin mo kasi dito si Mirai, she's always assisting Shinoa, knowing for a fact that the Brody has a lot more leverage in the early game. Pero ayun na nga, no, Smart Omega, ito yung naging problema sa kanila for the first 2 games as well, na hindi sila nakakakuha ng Lord. Parate, ang Zol yung nakakakuha ng early game, nakakakuha ng mga resources nila, which is actually one of the reasons why they have been struggling in their early game. But so far, they are looking really good as of the moment. They got in the first store, they got in some pickups as well. Pero ngayon, 10k na ang gold ng Smart Omega. This is good for them. And they need to definitely give the space to their gold laner.
Para lang maging sure na gold laners can definitely snowball. Keishi, akala ko biglang hugot ng isa. Akala ko gagalawan bigla yung Zol FE But she's just being a Fredrin, just posing as a threat to the mid lane. But now Zol FE, they pivoted their way up to the top lane. Kaso nakapag-back din naman agad yung Smart Omega. Turtle is up and sa baba pa siya actually. First dibs does go over to Smart Omega onto Keishi specifically. So pwede, if they want to let go of this turtle, Zol FE needs to get at least one trade. They need to be able to get damage dealers. And yeah, Smart Omega, turtle number 2, right in their pockets.
Ngayon, kino-corner ng Zol FE. Yung top side dito ngayon, love pressure on Shinoa. They know she can't really deal with a team fight as of the moment. Kulang pa ng items ngayon at mukhang hindi nakakuha ng trade-off doon yung Zol FE. Instead, Smart Omega will be picking up 2 turtles. They're still on the gold lead as of the moment. And as you can see, Amore as well, ang dami na po provide ng kanyang Astral Echo, slows as well. Pero ngayon, speaking of the pressure, there's the jump from Shin. There's the bloody hunt as well onto Shin dito by Mirai. Falls down really low as Amore will pick up that kill. Torn apart memories, not enough to take down Mirai as the members of Smart Omega creating so much pressure on the top. As the bottom side too, we see that Ang is heavily cutting the waves on the bottom side para naman hindi rin makasali dito si Not Ayanami sa mga team fights na talagang G na G ang Smart Omega. There's the Hawk on the Rain God, really low, and Shinoa will pick up that kill. 1k gold lead for the side of Smart Omega.
The only thing torn there was yung life bars nila, not really torn apart memories. Pero I have to commend Mirai dun sa hook. You hyped this kanina. Pagka-lock in nila ng Franco, you said this is gonna be an interesting and a very, very good pick for Mirai. And she definitely delivered and is delivering so far. The Smart Omega 3-1 on the board with that 1k gold lead as you have been saying, but they're looking to ballooning that lead in further. They are applying pressure sa ating top lane habang mag-isa sa mundo sinatayan namin sa baba.
You know what they say about the XP lane, right? It's the loneliest lane because most of the time you just deal with a 1v1 or sometimes apat yung dumadalo sa'yo, so it's not really that lonely, but definitely something that you wouldn't want, right? And speaking of the XP lane, that's a lot of pressure onto Not Ayanami habang the rest of the members of Smart Omega, they're gonna be getting in the middle lane, a lot of pressure. The torn apart memories does get Mirai But now, not Nami has to deal with two members here, Zol Effie. She's able to sustain though, with the tenacity emblem. So, she's able to sustain that lane, which is good for Smart Omega. Habang 19k na ang kanilang gold. This is a good start for them. Something different from them in the first two games. All the turtles, as the moment, goes to Smart Omega.
Yeah, and the golden staff has been picked up by Carrie as well. Tapos syempre, pati yung turret na to, pipick up na ng Smart Omega. Wait, 2 hits pa pala, but close enough, you know. I've been seeing a lot of good bloody hunt from Mirai as well. Tapos lagi silang magkasunod ni Shinoa. So that shows how clean the communications are. Plus, let's say they made a mistake. They quote-unquote fumbled. Meron pa naman silang Amor with the Novaria na pwedeng okay, hey, I got damaged, but wait, that's maybe the sun connecting onto one. You have to hit the air strike being popped as well. That's been the kill going over to Taro. And looks like Smart Omega, they were able to get the lead that they want. One hero, one turret, maybe 2 turrets, but let's see.
I love how Shinoa was just waiting for the minion to come in para makalock siya sa tower. And as you can see, Smart Omega, Mirai is just so comfortable with this hero. Halos lahat ng mga hooks niya, almost like a 90% hit rate on this game. And as for Shin, commendable as well. Yung mga dives niya dito nakakatakot rin talaga. She's been getting some good Tyrant rage onto the members of Smart Omega, but it's always the counter engage here by Mirai. Nakakakuha siya ng hook, so kumbaga parang nalilito na ngayon yung Zol Effie. Okay, mag-engage ba tayo sa set dito ngayon ni Shin? Or magre-respond ba tayo sa hook ni Mirai? So just a lot to consider here. As Smart Omega, they picked up 3 turrets as of the moment, at malaki pa na nakuha nila yung mid tower here. Mas makakapwesto sila ngayon sa unang lord ng ating laban na to.
Really more areas for Smart Omega to cover indeed. Ngayon, medyo kumalma na ang ating mapa. Okay, I stand corrected. Zol FE falling back rather. Tapos gusto ko din yung like how safe Shinoa can be pagkasama niya si Mara on this Franco, kasi as you can see, kumukuha ng resources si Shinoa sa Gedli. Nag-iron hook pa to the bush yung Franco natin, really making sure na space created and in a safe area ang ating carry dito. More does pop out that laser. That's gonna be the jump onto one, but looks like he's gonna be very, very tanky for the SC game. Pop it again. First one to fall down will be the spread win, but however, Julian does get popped away by this carry, and Smart Omega, they are almost gonna go with the chase, but sabi nila, kalmahan natin, we should just focus on the Lord.
You know what? With both junglers down, Smart Omega having the advantage. Here are the turrets that they've taken down. Look at how fast Shinoa is shrunken down this Lord. You know what? We don't even need the jungler here. We're just gonna go straight for this Lord. But Zol FE as well, they know for a fact na wala rin silang jungler dito. Itutuloy kaya ito ng Smart Omega. Here comes the Astral Echo for the Vision, slowing down the members of Zol FE, causing them to back away. So walang muna maglo-Lord dito. At kailangan muna nila mag-ingat as of the moment. Hard reset on the Lord as they're waiting for Keishi to respawn back up.
They're waiting. They need to fight ng kompleto sila if they really want to secure the lead, or at least, you know, get more for themselves. Jump in kay Shin. Too close for comfort. Para dito sa isa. But the airstrike being popped yet again. Here is maybe the response from Smart Omega. That is the Arla being taken down. Kaso, ayun na nga, Novaria with the damage. And looks like Super trying to get away. Kaso, sinasayuan. Hinahabol na snipe pa dito ni Amor. That's gonna be a double kill going over to Novaria. That is 2 for 1. At mukhang Zol FE, hindi sila makakalapit. And that means Smart Omega will be able to get the Lord.
Grabe yun. Hindi lang pala si Shinoa yung may snipe dito. Pati na rin si Amore with that Astral Meteor landing onto another member of Zol FE. That was Shin down. And right after that, they're gonna be taking down this Lord at isa pang tower yung nawala dito for the side of Zol FE. The most that they can do is actually create some space on their side. So that's gonna be the first tower taken down by Zol FE. They have to defend up against this one. Hindi pa naman to Luminous Lord Yuko. So I think for their side, they have to put their defenses up. And as for Smart Omega, they can take down at least the second tier towers here ng Zol FE.
They could, they should, and they must. So ngayon, ang hinihintay na lang siguro that's the question right now. Ano ang dapat gawin ng Zol FE dito to at least, you know, even yung game natin?
Uh-huh. Yep, there's
So
a
what
lot
could they do? What could Zone
Yeah.
FE do para ma-even?
Actually, looking at this, yung magiging possibility lang talaga dito, it's gonna really rely on Shin to make the plays. Siya naman yung talaga yung playmaker dito ng Zol FE. I also have to wait for the setup. And speaking of playmakers, ayan na yung hook! Onto Ang! Makakasurvive siya dito. But that's gonna be Shinoa picking up the killing spree onto Shin. Siya nga pala yung frontline dito. At siya rin yung unang mawawala. As Zol FE, numbers advantage are on the side of Smart Omega. They're going closer and closer to get that ULC championship here in the Philippines. And it's looking really good for them. One more win away, but Zol FE still on their toes. They're still alive and kicking in this game. Kailangan muna nila i-defend ito. Wala na nga yung Lord. They're taking down all the inhibitor turrets here for the side of Zol FE. And now, it's only the base left here para sa side ng Zol. At mahatak na naman siya dito. Ay! Unable to defend as Amore is still on an onslaught here up against Zol FE. Base na lang yung natitira. Magde-defend na naman dito yung Zol FE. But the side of the Empresses, they don't want to overcommit. There are minion waves coming in here, Yuko. Could this be the end for the side of Zol FE? There's the Astral Echo to slow down the members. It's
Ay, mahimula na naman!
dito. There's no one. They're left to defend. There's only two for the side of Zol FE. There's the Feathered Airstrike to clear out the minion waves. As the side of Smart Omega, they're waiting for the minion waves to come right in. And dito na si Ang for the side of Zol FE to defend their base, and they're still alive and kicking. Mapapaatras ngayon yung Smart Omega. They're really low. They don't want to overcommit. As the side of Zol FE, they're still alive in this game.
Ang masabi ko lang doon, Shinoa go burn. Grabe naman yung carry doon kanina. But yeah, Mirai, this lady right here with the very much on-point iron hooks, they were able to make things happen. But for the side of Zol FE, I honestly would have to commend Rain God. Her feathered airstrikes, yun ang reason kung bakit hindi agad natapos ng Smart Omega yung game. But with the Lord, and probably just skill, let's see what's gonna happen here. Si feathered airstrike it again. Still going over to Mirai. Ako po, minus na agad. Walang mag-hook dito. And also, this is go time for Zol FE. But I stand corrected. Biglang Shinoa go burn talaga kasi that's gonna be a double kill going over to this carry. The Varyo with the snipe as well. Now they're waiting for the Lord to walk into the mid lane. That was a 2-1. Plus the Lord in favor of Smart Omega. Malapit na yung Lord natin dito. May Genius 1 pa bigla si Amor. Mas sasakit siya dito. Mirai, if she wants to join the fight, she can in like 3-2 seconds. But now, Smart Omega, they are jumping in again. Yeah, the airstrike. Arlet gets bursted down. But you know what else got bursted down? It is yung base ng Zol FE as Smart Omega claims victory sa tournament natin dito. They are our champions.
Smart Omega proving to us time and time again the silver medalist ng ating SEA Games gets in the ULC Philippines, and they're gonna be the grand champions of this one as well. As voted teams, good game, well played definitely to Zol. This was not an easy championship game para sa side ng Smart Omega. You can see talagang lahat ng mga games natin, Yuko, nag-extend talaga up to like more than 20 minutes, which goes to show the mastery of these two teams when it comes to the micro and macro plays. And honestly, ang daming mga magagandang plays from both sides in all of the games here in this entire best out of 5 series. We are down to, game number 4, and this was finally the deal for Smart Omega to get in the victory for this series. Congratulations to our ladies for getting in the victory for this one. Let's take a look at our match highlights here, Yuko.
A lot of good plays kahit early game pa lang. There is one thing na gusto kong i-comment yung Smart Omega daw. I know na ang dami nilang magandang pickups, ang dami nilang great team fights, but one of the things I noticed na pag late game, di ba si Kufra, yung first niya, he jumps. So whenever he jumped, there was this one specific jump nung malapit yung Smart Omega sa base ng Zol FE. I hope nasa highlight yun mamaya. But natansya, Smart Omega took a few steps back. Pagpasok ni Kufra, he got CC'd. He could not move. -1 agad. Thus, wala tayong nakitang Tyrant's Rage or Revenge doon. Walang yumakap na Kufra because of how well Smart Omega. Parang tansyado nila yung range ng mga kalaban nila. And that, I think that's very, very good. That's very, very cool to know. And Zol FE, they tried. Okay, I really believe that this composition could have worked for them It just so happened na being Wario of a carry, of a Novaria, of even a Franco, it's a lot to take in. I think ito yon. Pagkatalo ni Shin or ni Kufra, tansyado siya. Yeah, there you go. Nakuha siya and he could not go back.
Yeah. Ito rin yung mahirap, no? Yung AoE. Actually, both sides may AoE naman for the team. Pero yun lang talaga dito for Smart Omega. I think for the side of Zol FE, they were completely caught off guard by the Novaria here. And as you can see, sobrang ganda rin talaga ng mga hooks dito ni Meray. Yung nakukuli niya talaga dito si Taro. And without the Purify, it's gonna be so hard to evade that one. And at the last clash, with the super minions coming in dito, Yuko, it was just so much to take here for Zol FE. At si Shinoa at this point, sobrang bilis na rin nung kanyang attack speed. So there's also the flicker out, so she'd be going back to safety. Pero for Smart Omega, you can see their mastery of skills, their mastery of micro and macro play when it comes to the team fight. And it just goes to show here, sa lahat ng mga Lord fights, they really were able to get in the wins here, which is really what made Zol FE struggle. If Zol FE here is just so good at the early game, Smart Omega, they just hold it out and always seem to win when it comes to past 15-minute mark. Sila talaga yung nagwawagi. And right after 2 Lords here for Smart Omega, they were able to close out the game.
Yeah, a lot earlier than the previous matches we've seen, but still as action-packed. So kudos, of course, to Smart Omega for being able to win that. And Zol FE, we saw how far and how long they were able to hold on to dear life as well as yung tournament life nila. They really, really showed us an amazing series. And again, sila po ang ating representative from the PH for the SCA Championships naman ng UniPin Ladies Series. I have to say, malakas ang mga pambattle ng Pinas dito. But here is the post-game stats, numbers, everything. Because through the game, si Amor daw ang MVP natin. And yeah, I have to agree. But my personal MVP here is really Mireille. Just those iron hooks, those bloody hunt. It's, I can't even comprehend.
Grabe yung ano niya, no, yung hook tsaka flicker. Talagang parate sa right target. Usually, actually, I think yung nahuli niya si Taro dito. Na I think if 6-2-0 on the Brody, that's still very spectacular. Even for the laning phase na nakakuha nga siya ng first blood up against Shinoa. But you know what they say, when it comes to the late game, Smart Omega, they're able to pull off these crazy plays. They're able to pull off all these things na talagang nakakagulat, especially for Zol in the team fights. I'm just wondering if they actually saved this Novaria for the last pick, right? Like, we didn't see this being bad though. Actually, it was open all game. So I was wondering why hindi ito na pick up ng other team. But let's find out later on as we head over straight to Smart Omega. Let's welcome them in, our UniPin Ladies Champions for the Philippines, Smart Omega Empress.
Ayan, here are our champions. First off, congratulations po from lower bracket. Now, you guys get the title, you get the trophy. First question po from me was, again, we all saw that backdoor from game number 3. Paano nyo po nagawa yung mental reset to be able to just steamroll them sa game number 4?
Ilang beses na namin kasi pinagdaanan yung mga ganyan sitwasyon eh. Lalo na yung SEA Games, experience na namin. Ma-reverse it. So, ngayon mas ready kami sa mga ganyang pagkakataon. So, kumbaga natuto rin kami sa nakalaban namin sa BTR kung paano maging compose as a team. So, ayun, nakabounce ba kami with dominating game naman.
At ngayon, papasok na nga kayo sa USC 2023 alongside Zol FE. Ngayon, mas marami ng mga tournaments for the ladies here in the Philippines, and that's actually really good. So, tanong lang, what is your opinion about the MLBB scene ng females dito sa Pilipinas?
Actually, nakakatuwa siya. Sobrang healthy niya para sa women's eh. Hindi lang naman sa MLBB, pati sa ibang women's na nagko-compete sa esports kasi dyan nag-i-start lahat eh. Unlike sa ibang region, siyempre may mga women's kasi na mas stable. Ngayon, unti-unti na rin sa Philippines. Kaya thank you sa mga nagpapatournament like UniPin.
Okay, so last question for me will be in line with what Burger Kim asked. madami nanonood ngayon na aspiring female pro players. You know, they've seen yung mga ginagawang TikTok ng players nyo when you were in Cambodia, all of that inspiring stuff. Ano po ang message nyo para sa mga aspiring female pro players na to?
Ayun, wag lang kayong matakot makipag-compete dito sa esports. Then, kahit sa male team, try kami rin kasi mga kinakalaban na namin male team. So, first nyo lang yung gusto nyo. Kasi, ayan, kita nyo, like sa female team namin sa players ko, nakabot ko yan sa games. Bata pa sila, diba? So, ayun, keep dreaming lang, first year dreams.
Eto, sorry last question, gusto ko lang maisingit, no? Since nag-USC rin kayo last year, ano yung hope nyo para sa upcoming USC 2023, lalo na mas maraming teams na sasali at syempre mas malaki na rin yung improvement ng Philippine MLBB scene. At siguro to close it out, yung quick shoutouts lang and messages for your fans.
Siyempre, ang target pa rin po namin sa paparating ng USC, matalo yung dominating region, which is yung Indonesian team. Kahit wala na yung BTR, pero syempre gusto pa rin namin ma-dominate yung other region. Kasi hindi pa kami nanalo or kahit sino sa Indonesia. So, ayun yung gusto namin target. Then, thank you po pala sa mga fans ng Smart Vegas, sa family ng players ko, sa family ko, sa girlfriend ko, sa boss namin, si Coach Q, Sir Pat, and Sir Koy. Thank you. Happy birthday nga po sa mama ni Amor, Mama B. Mama B, thank you po. Thank you rin po sa mga customers din sa production ng UniPin. Thank you rin po.
That's so sweet. Thank you.
Birthday king natin ng Orcabel Yugo Back. Ate Chantel, pag ikaw nag-shout ka, alam mo na nangyayari sa amin, ha?
Alam mo na.
Shoutout pa, yeah.
Yeah, maraming salamat Smart Omega. Congratulations and good luck sa inyong laban sa upcoming USC 2023 as well as Zol FE. And syempre, Yuko, no, we're down to the last few minutes of this broadcast. And syempre, nagpapasalamat rin kami, Yuko and Burger Kim, for all of you guys na sumubaybay dito sa ULC Philippines. So, stay tuned rin and continue supporting the Philippine MLBB team sa upcoming USC 2023. That's gonna be held real soon. But as for now, Yuko, what a day it has been. Game number 4, pero still, ang Smart Omega ang nagwagi.
Maganda, magaling, and yeah, very much excited to see what else can these two teams show when they're gonna be up against other teams from the SCA region. So again, thank you so much to everyone that was part of this journey. Watch the stream since day number 1. Pati sa mga co-casters natin, we have Daydom, we have Hot E, Chantel, and Uwomi. These are amazing storytellers, and thank you sa napakaganda, napakatalino, napakasipag, napakasikat, napakalupit ko na co-caster na si Burger King. Not scripted ang intro na to, by the way. But yeah, it was such a treat being able to cast and see you guys, pati sa mga fans. Production, thank you so much as well. Thank you so much for having us, and follow us on our socials. For me, at Yuko PH on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram, Yuko PH on Facebook.
Yan na nga guys, no, yung napakalupit kong co-caster din. All of the things that she said, it pretty much applies to her as well. So go follow her on our social media pages. And as for me, it's at Burger Kim Cast on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and all of pretty much all of the social media platforms. See you guys sa USC 2023. Continue supporting Smart Omega, Empress, as well as Zol FE sa kanilang susunod na laban. But once again, thank you so much to everyone who made this possible. Our live streaming partner TikTok, UniPin, as well as all of our media partners, Gosu Gaming, Upstation Media, as well as the rest of the outlets that made this very much possible. Don't forget to use our code as well that we mentioned earlier, let me just pull that back up once again para magamit nyo. Today's PH. So be sure to use that as well if you top up. There's a lot of events on MLBB, so be sure to top up with UniPin. But that's it for today. Maraming salamat for having us. On behalf of my co-casters, thank you so much, and see you guys sa susunod na UniPin Ladies Championship. Bye-bye! See you guys next time.
Something shining like a diamond that everybody needs to see. I know that I have to put my heart out for this. I will take this opportunity. If everybody wants to see the fire in my heart, will still belong to me. You and I, we both know it's true. Now we can put up all the fight that we choose. It's like the power of us two. Take it to mine inside you. Now set the highest will of
I put my heart into this, so you know I gotta win. Battling every corner, I gotta take the reign. Doesn't matter if I fail, then I resurrect. Pointing from the base, you would never pass this to rest. I'm son of a god, and you were just not. You feel it? You can't destroy me, I'm fully unbuffed. I gotta take the title, win the battle, and I will be the number one. These competitors are none.
I will take this opportunity. If everybody wants to see the fire in my heart, will still belong to me. You and I, we both know it's true. Now we can put up all the fight that we choose. It's like the power of us two. Take it to mine inside you. Now set the highest will of fire. We'll set the highest will of fire. Take it to mine inside you. Now set the highest will of fire. Something shining like a diamond that everybody needs to see. I know that I have to put my heart out for this. I will take this opportunity. If everybody wants to see the fire in my heart, will still belong to me. You and I, we both know it's true. Now we can put up all the fight that we choose. It's like the power of us two. Take it to mine inside you. Now set the highest will
I
of
put my heart into this, so you know I gotta win. Battling every corner, I gotta take the reign. Doesn't matter if I fail, then I resurrect. Pointing from the base, you would never pass this to rest. I'm son of a god, and you were just not. You feel it? You can't destroy me, I'm fully unbuffed. I gotta take the title, win the battle, and I will be the number one. These competitors are none.
I will take this opportunity. If everybody wants to see the fire in my heart, will still belong to me. You and I, we both know it's true. Now we can put up all the fight that we choose. It's like the power of us two. Take it to mine inside you. Now set the highest will of fire. Something shining like a diamond that everybody needs to see. I know that I have to put my heart out for this. I will take this opportunity. If everybody wants to see the fire in my heart will still belong to me. You and I, we both know it's true. Now we can put up all the fight that we choose. It's like the power of our story. Take this mind inside you. Now set the highest will of I put my heart into this, so you know I gotta win. Battling every corner, I gotta take the reign. Doesn't matter if I fail, then I resurrect. Punting from the base, you will never pass this to rest. I'm son of a god, and you are just not. You feel it? You can't destroy me, I'm fully unbuffed. I gotta take the title, win the battle, and I will be the number one. This competitor's enough. I will take this opportunity. If everybody wants to see the fire in my heart will still belong to me. You and I, we both know it's true. Now we can put up all the fight that we choose. It's like the power of our story. Take his mind inside you. Now set the highest wheel of fire. We'll set the highest wheel of fire. Take his mind inside you. Now set the highest wheel of fire. Something shining like a diamond that everybody needs to see. I know that I have to put my heart out for this. I will take this opportunity. If everybody wants to see the fire in my heart will still belong to me. You and I, we both know it's true. Now we can put up all the fight that we choose. It's like the power of our story. Take his mind inside you. Now set the highest wheel of I put my heart into this, so you know I gotta win. Battling every corner, I gotta take the reign. Doesn't matter if I fail, then I resurrect. Punting from the base, you will never pass this to rest. I'm son of a god, and you are just not. You feel it? You can't destroy me, I'm fully unbuffed. I gotta take the title, win the battle, and I will be the number one. This competitor's enough.